All right. Maddie Birman,
Here
welcome to Going Again podcast. Stoked to have you.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, thanks for
Happy
coming
to
in.
be here.
Yeah, this is awesome. Hey, cheers.
Hey, yeah, let's cheers. We have
got my new mug.
coffee. Cheers.
My new mug.
Beautiful.
That's right.
Cheers, Blair.
This coffee smells strong.
Blow on it because it's probably really hot.
This is hot. Blair, did you make this?
He's our brewer.
So,
When you have a chance, Blair, I'm going to have 7 more. Just kidding.
It's good coffee.
Maddie Birman,
Yeah,
thanks for coming down.
here I am.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah. Let's think about how long have we known each other?
Oh my God, let's not.
Okay.
Although I did see on the IMDb this morning that you and I participated in 39 titles together.
You're
Wow.
kidding. So I don't know where that button is anymore. It's only on IMDb Pro, right?
Correct.
So if it's still there, that's where the button is. But I always
Wait, yeah, you can find out. There's a specific spot on IMDb where you can actually
only
compare.
only on Pro, and you
Oh,
can
okay.
punch in another name and see the projects.
Oh, I see.
So
Yeah.
39 out
That's
of
cool.
400 each is probably pretty good, like 10% of the time.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
This year, we've managed to bang into each other a lot.
We have.
Yeah, it's funny business, right? You can go like 2, 3, 4 years not seeing anybody. And
But what's
Yeah.
interesting too
You
is
again.
that you and I are always on our own projects, and then all of a sudden this year everybody's hiring us to play on their projects,
Yeah.
and we keep running into each other that way.
yeah, and I did one of yours that I don't think you even knew I'd been cast because I went as an actor. And
Oh, that's right.
by the way, I'm on your commercial.
That's
No
right.
way.
Yeah, Matt shows up. Hello. But then when he got here, he said, "What am I doing?"
What am I doing? And there was no stunt for me. It was pretty strange.
Yeah, that was funny.
What was the commercial?
I have no. Oh, Southwest Airlines,
Okay.
big U.S. national spot.
What was it you were there to do?
So I go to the audition, and it was my first in-person audition post-COVID, and I got it. So what does that tell you about all this self-taping crap? You got to be in the room. I got to ask questions. I'm just not funny if I'm not in the room.
I'm with you on that.
And you don't know what you're doing. So it was so refreshing to be in the room. Well, then I got a call back, and the callback was on tape. But so in the room, he was like, and he was on Zoom. I was live. He was on a computer in L.A. He's like, can you skateboard down a set of stairs and wipe out? And I was like, just about everybody can do that. Yes. Whatever I said, he thought it was funny. Like I said, I won't take more than 1 or 2 steps before the wipeout happens. He's like, how many times can you do it? And I was like,
One really good
Show
one.
me the stairs.
depends on your budget. Maybe he goes, could you do it a lot? And I said, well, with some prep, because in my head I'm thinking about ramps and stuff. And then he was like, can you pogo stick? And like just these crazy non-stunty things, ride a scooter. They wanted a driver, and that's why I was there.
Right.
But it was driving like a scooter or a pogo stick.
Justin ended up doing that.
Yeah,
Well, what
JD.
did he do? Like what? I
Just
don't.
rode a scooter,
Yeah.
like a Vespa type scooter,
Okay.
down some stairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, and
Okay.
he jumped a bike too.
Yeah, he jumped a city bike up onto the back of a car and over the hood,
It's got 2 wheels.
and it never made the spot.
Talented kid.
None of his stuff
No,
made the spot.
didn't make the spot.
Are you in the spot?
I was petrified when I got the job. I was like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, good. Randy's the coordinator. It's like, what are we doing? Like nobody knows anything. I get there and I'm doing like ad lib dialogue coming out of a manhole cover. No stunt.
Wow.
And I didn't make the cut.
Oh man.
But JD's not in it. Fee's not in it.
No, nobody's in it. That's crazy.
Ava's the star.
Really?
Yeah, she tore it up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
So-
nice. It's a good day of work.
But it was nice. But then, like, they're hiring us to do these super easy, what we used to call Jesse James days. And I don't necessarily want easy. I got a call to do something next Tuesday, which is playing a dead body near the water. And it's like one of the first things I did when I first hooked up with Marco, TJ, and Ted in the late 80s was be a dead body near the water. It's like,
It's come full circle.
I am really on fire here.
It's nice to frame your life like that.
Really carved myself a knee.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
So that was one of my questions today. Is that how you started with those guys? No,
No.
because you started acting way
No,
young.
I was way before that. It's a long story.
Let's go.
we have time.
We have 4 hours.
No, those guys were the start of my Toronto second coming, sort of. I mean, there's two questions I have a hard time answering. When did you start? Because like my first start was visiting my dad on a set where I first met stuntmen.
Right. And your dad being Len Birman.
Len Birman, who had carved a very nice career for himself from the late 50s to about the mid 70s when he moved to LA and just became a television guest artist.
Mm-hmm.
And a character actor. One of those guys, I know that face, but I don't know his name.
Absolutely.
And so from a very early age, I was visiting sets. I was backstage at Stratford as a baby. I was brought there when I was of an age where I could be bitten by showbiz. But stunt-wise, yeah, I met Ron Stein was the coordinator of this thing he was shooting in Tennessee. And Ron Rondell and his kid Reed were there it was like a Daniel Boone story. And I was visiting. It was my birthday. It was 2 weeks before I started theater school. So there was no thought of stunts. I was just going to go be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd made the decision to go to theater school because of one of the teachers was a buddy of my dad's. And I could get in as a high school grad without doing 2 years of college first. And I sort of set a precedent. You'd come out of high school and go right into this theater school. Not National Theater School, but also in Montreal, the Dome Theater School. And so this was a birthday trip right before school in August of 77. My voice is a little weird today. And I met this Reed Rondell fell off a horse. Ronnie wrestled a bear. I was 15 years old, turning 16. These are the coolest guys I've ever seen in my life. I want to do that. And it's like, no, I'm off to study Shakespeare. So I got a little treat given to me by the lead actor named Rob Moses. Jeremy Brett, the English actor, was there, and my dad. And I'm a Confederate soldier being pulled away by a horse on a pallet of wood. I'm wounded. And, Rob Moses tends to me, and then the horse takes off. And I go bumping across this field. It's like, well, I acted in the first part of the shot, and I stunted in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my first paying job.
Wicked.
Yeah. So it was literally the day Elvis died.
Wow.
And I was in Tennessee, which is a very strange part of the story. But nobody, when everybody goes, when did you start? I always go, August 16th, 1977. Something else happened that day. So it's kind of weird.
And the Rondells today are legends.
Yeah, what's really weird is that I was in Tennessee, 45
around the
45
corner.
miles from Memphis.
Fuck. And you felt like you just missed them.
Or the soul came out of the bathtub
Oh, just a second.
and maybe went into me.
Is that what that is? I didn't understand the reference.
They were like, Maddie, that was fantastic. That's your first shot ever. What a great job. And I said, thank you very much.
Oh, Jesus. Maddie has left the building. Wow.
Well, we found out in the van going home that day. It was horrifying.
Oh, wow.
Elvis is dead.
Yeah. But there must have been a feeling across everybody or in Tennessee about that.
Yeah, it
Holy
was crappy. But I mean, 2 days later, I was back in Montreal and getting ready to go to school. And of course, day one of that theater school, I think the first class on the Monday at 10 a.m. was a voice class. And I didn't know anybody, but I was like, I'm a Hollywood stuntman.
Wow.
Absolutely.
It's a pretty cool first gag.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I was saying before we started, all this stuff was condensed into that year. So Hooper came out. And
Okay.
I'm sure Shane will tell you, or anybody of my generation, that if you were into it and you were an athlete and you were grabbed by Hooper, you wanted to be a stuntman.
Exactly.
And,
True.
And Burt was already a star, so it's like you weren't going to not see a Burt Reynolds movie. And it was like, well, this looks like fun. I didn't know who Hal Needham was, but it was like, I must have seen Hooper 12 times. And then, of course, you become a Buddy Joe Hooker fan, and then, A.J. Bakunis and all these guys. So
Wow, that's
that's
cool.
how that happened. So I pretended to be a stunt guy for the first year and a half at theater school. And then while we were in school, in that 3-year program, the film boom hit Montreal. And all of a sudden, there were teen exploitation films, and horror films, crazy amount of horror films, and kiddie stuff. So we were the perfect age, and we had there was nobody in the city, so we did all the roles I did a bunch of stunts, and that's how I met Dwayne.
That's right. So Dwayne was in Montreal doing these shows?
Dwayne was in Montreal doing a show, and of course I was like, I know Ronnie Rondell. Don't forget, I was 17 years old, And
Wow.
and it was what was that show? It was a hockey thing. Vince Van Patten. I don't want to get into that. I can't remember.
Were you a hockey guy at the time?
No, I never was a
Okay.
hockey guy because I grew up in the States.
Yeah. Oh, I
I
see.
can't skate. It's one of
I
those.
grew up here. I've never been on.
Yeah. What?
I can skate. I can go around and around. I could figure skate, but I can't go backwards, and you can't give me a stick and ask me to do something with a puck. That's,
Yeah, same. I could fall down on skates.
Yeah, but that's where that started. The meeting the guys here was much later.
Now, you were born in Montreal, though, right?
Yeah, so this is the question I have a hard time with as I age: is where are you from? Because I don't know anymore.
Okay.
I literally don't.
But you were born in Montreal, but
Born in
raised
Montreal,
elsewhere.
raised in Brooklyn, whisked away as a baby, and so I had an entirely American upbringing.
And was this because of your dad's career?
No, so they broke up when I was a baby. That's the
Oh.
other part of it is. So both my parents were actors. They couldn't both stay in the theater
Okay.
and survive with a baby. So he was doing better than her. She decided, you be the actor. I'm going to be the mom. He was at Stratford at the time. So there's baby pictures. So there was a huge triangle of Montreal, Toronto, Stratford. For the first 2 years, I guess, of my life, but they broke up, I guess, when I was around one. If I had to be technical, 1.5. First stunt ever, he dropped me on a staircase in Stratford.
Okay.
Now that I know more, now that everybody's gone and I know much more, there may have been some coffee involved with me dropping down the stairs, but there's baby pictures of me at 9 months old.
That's hilarious.
9 months old with a cast on my leg, so it's adorable.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, he takes all the credit for
In the
this.
theater?
No, it was in whatever rental house.
Oh, okay.
He takes all the credit for that cast on your leg?
Well, for saving it,
Oh, I see.
for neither one of us really being messed up. But
I think it's ironic that you're still casting for things. That's
shit.
pretty good.
I'm casting around for some new writers.
That'll be a short. That'll be a new short.
Yeah, so it was complicated. It definitely, I have a clearer picture the older I get. The more I do the research as to what exactly was going on.
Right.
And all the way up to when my dad passed 2 years ago, you can't help but rummage as you're cleaning the house.
Sure.
47 years of history. I found some stuff that made things clearer. And I immediately went to the corner bar.
And had some coffee.
I had some coffee.
That's wicked.
And invited 12 of my best psychotherapist friends to come with me. No. It was an interesting thing. But anyway, my mother remarried the guy I call my dad as opposed to my father.
Right.
My father's joke was, I'm your father, he's your dad. They were all friends. It was all amicable. Everybody knew everybody else. He was an architect, but was very, very involved in the arts, civil rights. And I was of an age where, so I was exposed to, they marched on Washington with Martin Luther King when I was a baby.
Wow.
I was exposed to the entire black experience in the 60s and early 70s, Vietnam, John and Yoko sit-ins, and Broadway theater, like you name it, anything you can come up with if you're growing up in Brooklyn Heights in the 60s and 70s. I was exposed to it, so.
Wow.
Yeah, so and it speaks to a lot of the shit I'm into, so it all makes sense.
Really?
What I was
Okay.
what I was influenced by. The stunt thing just sort of happened, and that none of them understood because they were like, "What do you?
Yeah. What are you
fall
falling down for?
on purpose?"
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, well, because it's fun, I always tell people, you got to be an athlete, you got to have some common sense, and those are about the only requirements. Your speeding tickets, and I fell off a ladder. I love those. They don't do a lot for me. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then from New York, we moved to Vermont because my stepdad was as an architect, was also helping develop what Stowe, Vermont became, the gentrification and the buildup of Stowe. And I was a ski racer as a kid, so it made sense to continue and be in Vermont. So it was like they were just hippies. It's the way I just moved to Cowden 10 years ago, going, I think I want to live in the woods. That's exactly what they did. He had a very successful. He was adopted, and his father was a very successful underground figure and boss.
That's interesting.
Do you ever go back to Brooklyn or Vermont?
All the time.
Yeah? Okay.
So not so much to Vermont as much. I don't ski as much as I used to, but I did take Nisha through a childhood tour about 10 years ago. We showed her both the Vermont houses and where I ski raced and all that. But
Well, that's fun.
New York is still a huge part of my life. I mean, I'm there. I go a lot, mostly for the theater, but I also run the Brooklyn half and I run the New York City half.
Yeah.
In November, I'm running the big one. So
Wow.
the Brooklyn half is a blast for me because it goes past my school, my house, my park. It goes down to
that's
Coney
cool.
Island. So it's
Yeah, I want to talk about this running thing soon.
yeah, it's an addiction.
It's
Okay,
interesting.
so let's talk about it now. When did this start for you, this running thing?
Running started when I moved to Toronto from Montreal. Because what happened after that film boom was René Lévesque got in and he cut the tax break. He said, "What do we need with these movies?" And there was this mass exodus from Montreal to Toronto, which anybody back then can tell you. Like if you weren't going to Toronto or maybe Vancouver, your career was over. Like if you didn't speak French, it was done, which I didn't. And there were only 2 English language theaters, and the movies just dried up. And every audition and every phone call was about Toronto, Toronto, Toronto. So 200 trips on the 401, I guess, between 79 and 82, and then I moved in 82. And I was 220, 230 pounds, because what I knew as an 18-year-old kid making all these movies was those jelly donuts are free, and they're on that table all day long. And I discovered, girls, alcohol, a little bit of drug play. It wasn't the healthiest 10 years of my life. So I started
Probably
running.
pretty fun.
I literally started running just to lose weight and to try to stop smoking. And, because I was
Try to make a good habit.
20, 21, but living like a 31-year-old.
Okay, so then why didn't I know back then that you were running? Like, you were running for fitness, like
I was
everybody
running
else
for-
runs
yeah,
for fitness.
so that was 1982. In 83, I ran my first 5K.
Really?
It was in Etobicoke in Centennial Park. And then I was on and off, I think until the early 90s, where I just sort of did it as a fitness thing. I was a member at the West End Y. I would go around and around and around the track up top at the West End Y. Played basketball, but running is how I lost 50 pounds, to the point where people thought I was sick. But, and I did all the usual running stories, the wrong shoes, doing it wrong, all the mistakes. Well, I still make mistakes now. But I didn't really start again until in LA in the early 90s. Mary and I moved to Los Angeles. I moved to LA to get out of the business. That's a whole other story.
You were golfing.
I was going to
was
ask about
golfing.
LA. So your family wasn't doing anything in LA.
No, so my father,
Yeah.
my biological father and his wife moved to LA in 76.
Okay.
And he'd been going back and forth when I was a kid. And I guess he'd reached the end of whatever he felt was potential here. He started a movie called Lies My Father Told Me. He had started a series called Police Surgeon, and he figured I'm going to go do it there. He wanted to be able to pick and choose. He didn't want to be a star. But there was there's a lot more television there. And he was doing some guest shots, like
Silver Streak.
Silver Streak, yep, that happened in that time. But like he did It Takes a Thief in the late 60s. He did it as a guest shot because he knew Robert Wagner back then. And then he'd go back to Toronto. He'd do CBC Live presentations of Stratford and like all sorts of stuff. But he'd reached a pinnacle, sort of. And my argument is if he had stayed here, he would have had more of like a Chris Plummer, Gordy Pinsent type career.
Right.
Right.
Big fish, small pond. So it was a stunt guy named Jack Gill who told me, don't go anywhere. Stay here and be a big fish. There's 40 of you just in LA alone, and there's 400 of you in all of Southern California. It's like, stay here where
There's a lot of truth there. Holy
there's
shit.
only 10 of you, yeah. And so, he wrote me a great letter. That was like in 89. And then it happened again. And after Top Cops, my mother passed away. I wrote to Bobby Bass, who was in Junior with, we got to know each other on Junior. And he said the same thing. He said, this is a hellhole. Don't do it. There's 10 times as many here as there are there. And you're having a nice career, So that's part of what motivated me to come back to Toronto and give up golf. Golf's hard, man. Like You need unlimited funds. You
And,
guys
and you've
play-
got to be good.
You guys play, so you know, and you did what I did during COVID. Like you get really good.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, all I did was play 60 days in a row. So, oh, that's why they're so good.
Yeah, totally.
You know, I mean, I got to where I was, you know, way up there, but I was still nowhere near good enough. And that was just for Southern California. You know what I mean? I was a +2. I was breaking 70 regularly on relatively difficult golf courses. And I was like the 300th best golfer in the Southern California Golf Association.
Whoa.
So it's like, you need to go out, you need to be able to, every course has to be a par 68, assuming you're going to, you know, now 30 years later, the distances are insane. Do you remember a 500-yard par 4 used to be like, holy crap. Now they're everywhere.
That is still holy crap for me. I just say it 18 times.
Yeah, and I just say, it's
Holy crap, that par 3's par.
Yeah.
well, even today, like a 212-yard par 3 over water, I would think like, Jesus, this is hard.
Yeah, that is.
Maybe I'll just bunt and be happy with my 4.
Yeah.
But back then, I'd strafe a 5-iron like it was nothing. You know.
Man.
Anyway, it was an interesting journey, and now I've convinced myself that the whole plan and moving, Spencer was 2 years old, and moving my very young family was really just dealing with my mother's death and getting closer to my father. And it gets kind of sorted. But anyway, it was a nice year and a half where I got really good at golf.
Yeah, this what I've heard is that you are quite good at golf.
Not anymore.
No?
Was. It's a long time
I
ago
remember.
now. That's like saying that Randy, do you guys cut this out? Because you don't want me to say your dad. Randy was the human torch. And Randy would say, not anymore.
Yeah, stop.
I'm not the human torch.
Despite the fact we're lighting a friend of mine on fire for his 50th birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, no, so people are like, well, I don't want to play with you because you're good. And I'm like, well, I'm a 14 now. I'm not good. I'm probably actually a 16.
I remember when we
I don't even
played,
know what that means.
we had a stunt, a Toronto stunt guy golf tournament.
Yeah.
And I was on the green putting. And you and Junior put your balls on the green from the tee box.
Yeah, well, he was a good golfer too. Junior had a scholarship, and also I think got to where he was like a +1. I still love the game. I didn't ever like give it up or out of anger or any of that stuff. My favorite time is when I quit playing under pressure. Mary and I moved back here. I started working again, but when I would play golf, I was still really good. So like those years, I think Shelley can tell you that we once played Osprey 4 days in a row, and I shot 4 consecutive 76s, and it was like on a course none of us knew. The Heathland was a really difficult golf course. And it's like that's one of my favorite memories is those 4 days in a row, as opposed to not qualifying for a Nike Tour event in 1994. Yeah.
Does golf ever actually get any less frustrating? No, I didn't think so.
No, because if you don't play and you have no expectations, and you're like, I used to play a lot, and now I'm just a hack, you're going to hit a couple of good shots that'll hit you in your soul.
Right.
It's really bad if it's like the second shot on the first hole, right? And you strafe a 7-iron to 6 feet, and you're like, I still got it. And then the rest of the day is, fuck this game.
Yeah.
It's more poetic if it happens late in the round and you're like, I'm back, the guy I used to be, and you don't take it seriously. If it happens on the second or third hole, you're cooked. You're going to be like thinking about your potential. So I just spent last winter in Sedona, and I'm a member there, and I play a lot.
Okay.
But I'm no good because I don't hit balls. And the only reason I got good back then was I hit balls.
Yeah, it was
like 600
constant.
of them a day. So you just become a robot. And I would play like 9 holes every other day. It wasn't about playing. You become an expert at assessing what a lie is, what kind of a lie you have. You got to rehearse. You have a whole routine. But it's easy compared to striving for, there is no perfection. But being able to hit 20 balls exactly the same on the range off an AstroTurf mat, it's like you can get really good at that. Then you're going to kill all your friends. There's no question. But under pressure, where it's like, if I don't make this putt, my kid doesn't eat. That's a different game.
Yeah, that's crazy. That really is a crazy game.
And I had the pressure of like I was using my own money, And I was playing against guys that had unlimited funds, or sometimes a guy would show up with his entrance fee on the Golden State Tour. It was where I played. And you could see his check with his wife's name on it, not his name, or it was the father-in-law's name and it wasn't his name. And it's 200, 400, 600 bucks a pop to enter these tournaments, right? It's like, well, he's not playing with his own money. And I was like,
Okay.
I walked away from, I was the stunt coordinator of Top Cops, making back then decent money, and I quit basically.
Okay.
And I took a year and a half off. So I made $12,000 as a golf pro in those 18 months, 10 of it from teaching.
12,000 was a lot back then.
Yeah, yeah. My biggest check was for $400, and I was thrilled. But the other side of that is
Crazy.
I shot 71 in a Monday qualifier for a Nike tour event in Merino Valley. It's like the poor man's Palm Springs, but a Pete Dye golf course. In its heyday, it was just a phenomenal golf course. I shot 71. I was in the first group, so I had to wait around forever. 68 guys playing for 4 spots. And 1 under on a Pete Dye golf course, Nike tour, well, you might have a chance. Like, that's a really good score. And 17 guys beat me. I wasn't even close to being one of the 4.
Wow.
17 guys were
That is so
66,
crazy.
66, 67, 67, 68, 68, 69. So I cried in the car that day. That was the day I was like, I'm done.
But you have a really good story.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
See, I get excited when I'm gonna go play golf with these guys. I get super stoked. 4 hours to not think about other shit. All this,
Well,
And
it's
it
because
tur-
we're playing here. In Toronto, it's
Yeah.
7 hours.
Well, that's probably true. But it always turns out that like the hot dog at the clubhouse halfway through the game was the best part.
Yeah.
It's like,
And the score doesn't matter, man. It just doesn't matter.
yeah,
I played with Marty Roach, is one of my good buddies, one of my motorcycle gang members. And the one time I played with him a couple of years ago, I hadn't played golf and I stunk the joint out and shot somewhere around 100, either just below or just over. And he's like, I can see you know what you're doing. You're a golfer. You just haven't played. So we went out last week. It's the first time
interesting.
since. And I've been playing all this golf. And
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And I should probably, something in the low 80s would be reasonable. No, I shot it like a 95, 96, 94.
Wow.
I thought 94. But
makes me feel.
it was like good golf for 15 holes. And then without those 3 sevens,
But I mean,
Yeah.
this is on a complicated golf course to some degree.
where I was,
Yeah.
no, it was Deer Creek. It's not complicated.
No.
It's downright easy golf. Right now where I am, I play bogey golf, and let's say I par 4 or 5 holes, and then there's a couple of blowups. And I'm brutal about not cheating and not like.
Yeah, totally.
Well, 100%.
As you should be.
It's not so much cheating as just putting down on the card. And it's like, what did you make? I'm like, well, I made a 9. Okay, well, I'll give you a 7. I'm like, no, I made a 9. What's
Yeah.
the point of writing 7 down?
There is no point.
Well,
There's a very famous stunt coordinator, famous in Toronto, who, when he's alone, shoots incredible scores.
Really?
But when he's playing with other people, 15, 20 strokes higher.
It's hilarious. We'll discuss that later.
No, we won't. It's magical, though. It's like, man, you got to learn how to play with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So running, so how did you get involved with, like, what's the longest what you run now? Do you run full marathons?
Yeah, but not all the time. You keep in mind, like when it's marathon time, I back up 12 to 16 weeks and start what we call a training block, trying to get ready. I've never successfully pulled one off to where I'm actually in marathon shape by the time the marathon rolls around because I'm in showbiz.
Right.
Right.
So unless you're a guy that can just tunnel vision
Dedicate that time.
and say I'm getting up at 5 o'clock, I have an 8:30 call time. So I get fanatical for the beginning of each block, and then it falls apart. Like during the Expanse, I would go to a Good Life at Coxwell and Dundas, I think, or Gerard, near the studio, near 30 booth. I'd run at 5 o'clock in the morning to get it in. And then I'd go to set, and I'd feel great. It'd be awesome. It's like, yeah, I got it in. And for me, it can only last 2, 3, 4 weeks before I just give up. I'm like, this is too hard.
But then you still run the marathon?
I run the marathon. I just say I'm just going to jog it. So I ran every marathon's going to. So I really was a 5 and 10K guy all the way up until 2019 when Nisha and I decided let's run the LA Marathon. It'll be fun. idiotic, but it's always there. Like if you're a runner, even if you've never raced, but you're just a runner, it's always there on the horizon, right? It's,
Right.
What's the ledge? Like why does it get too hard? What is that moment?
Well, it demands a perfect combination of endurance and mental fortitude
The mental
that the
fortitude.
10K doesn't, and
Yeah.
even the half doesn't. And it demands getting fueling and hydration correct on race day. So you can train, like I am right now. I'm in the middle of the end of my second week. Sunday, tomorrow I have off. Sunday I do my first long run. And then I've got 14 more weeks to go. So you train your hydration and your fueling and what you're going to eat and all that stuff. But on race day, you don't know what's going to happen. You could be constipated. You could have diarrhea. You could didn't sleep. I didn't this. I didn't that. Strength training is a huge part of it that none of us do enough of. So the reason you hear people say I never get it right is because it's never the same. Whereas
Yeah.
up to about the half, I guess most runners might agree with me. The half is 13 miles and it's manageable. It's like 2 10Ks and it's not as daunting. It's way more fun. You can go faster. And marathon there's always something. So in London, I couldn't prepare properly because I was in Colombia doing a TV show. Colombia was too hot and humid. You worked on it, the Don Cheadle.
Yes. Yeah.
Andrew was part of a rewrite night.
Oh, really?
The scene he was in changed 5 times in an hour and a half. And I guess the scene turned out okay because you had an entire pack of performers going, well, what am I doing?
It was fun.
It was fun. It
I
was
enjoyed
like,
that.
it's like improv cops on guys with guns and arrests and dialogue and falling down, and every
Yeah.
take was different. It was a very organic
It's cool.
show. But I had to train for London on a treadmill in Cartagena
Okay.
for 3 weeks. It was like there's no way I could go outside. I didn't know the area. I didn't want to carry a vest with all my food and water and all that stuff.
And a gun.
So you're not prepared with
And a gun. Luckily, it was a safe tourist part, but it's like 99% humidity on a beach. It's not going to go well. So I did 2 18-milers and a 20-miler on a treadmill, watching bad movies.
Crazy.
And
Man.
the water safety guy was a stunt guy that did a Avatar. Those guys would come up and come down twice during my run. It's like, you're still here? I'm like, you guys are doing a second workout? Like, that's how bored they were.
Oh, jeez.
But that is crazy. You must know going into the marathon that
Yeah.
where you're gonna place or how long you're gonna get through it and all that.
Yeah, there's going to be a pain cave. But each one, I've only run 5 marathons. I've run a ton of other races, like the Sporting Life 10K and the
see.
Spring Runoff in Hyde Park. I run that for the last 25 years. And
Okay.
I know exactly within a few minutes of how I'm going to do. And they're fun, and it's just tradition. It's some years you're like, I'm going to kill this, and other years you're like, I'm just jogging. It's just a training run. There's a Georgina half that I run as a long run. Like I run it slow on purpose. Even you're surrounded by people going as fast as they can. Very, very different mindset from if I went up there. I'm qualifying for Boston. I have to do well. Like as soon as you're like this, it affects your running. So
Do you want to do that? The Boston Marathon?
Boston's my last one, and I'm waiting. I'm aging. So the older you get, the easier Boston is to get into. You have to qualify for it.
Oh, I see.
And there's
interesting.
based on age. So I'm not fast. I'm what's called I call myself the penguin clodhopper. What are those horses? Clydesdale. I'm a
Clydesdale.
Clydesdale. Mid-packer.
Okay, so they just don't want to keep the cameraman down halfway,
There's that too.
working all freaking day,
Yeah, it's
waiting for you.
Boston is not a hoax, but it's like there's a lot of secret society stuff at Boston because they want to limit the number to 30,000 because it's a relatively narrow road and Boston's a point to point one way.
Okay.
30,000 people.
Yeah, well, I ran Berlin last year with 56,000.
Seriously.
57, I think, and I think New York then broke Berlin, so I'm a little afraid of New
Jesus.
York. But the thing about
Got to get in
Boston,
the running shoe business.
Yeah, no shit.
yes, and it's also having a post-COVID renaissance where it's trail running that's exploding right now, like growing exponentially year over year, at a ridiculous rate. But trail running is not. It's fun. It's therapeutic. It's meditative. It's not,
Yeah, up and down and
it's
around.
not sexy to me. Like these guys, they power walk and
Oh, okay.
they're incredible athletes, but like who wants to run up and down a mountain for 24 hours?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that?
I don't even want to do it for 10
I don't.
minutes.
I'm good with like an hour or two. In Sedona, I go 2 hours to me is a long hike. If I start running it, it's like I know I'm going to be walking half of it. It feels fantastic and it's great. But 2 hours is like, okay, let's go get a beer. I don't need to do it for 9 hours.
No, just meet Matt in the beer.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Who are you running with today? Randy. He's going to be at the end.
He's on his Harley. He'll get there way before me.
But anyway, there's six world marathon majors run by this company called Abbott, and I've done 4. So New York will be my 5th, and then I got to wait for Boston. Now they've added Sydney as the 7th, and it's become big business.
Oh, wow.
So Sydney is like, yeah, I'd love to have it, but it's across the globe.
Yeah,
It's
getting
it's a
there.
$15,000 trip, just to say I ran Sydney. And then after that, over the next few years, Shanghai, I think, and somewhere in South Africa. I don't
Oh
know.
man, really?
I'm assuming it's Johannesburg. I don't know where, but so then they're going to release a 9-star medal from the 6-star medal, adding the 3 new cities. And I'm like, you take that 9-star medal and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Boston. I wanted New York to be my last because it's emotional and it's home and
Right.
it's where I'm from. But it doesn't logistically make sense to like try to qualify for Boston. I'll never do it. I'd have to tell all you guys I'm not working. I can't work.
Yeah, it just takes a
I'd have to
certain
move
kind
to
of focus.
Flagstaff for 18 months. And
Yeah.
I'm not interested in being that fast for
I've
26 miles. you know.
I've never thought about it before, what these people go through to get there.
I can only imagine it's insane. I mean, I could only imagine that what you're saying is very, very real.
It's no different from the east side of Vancouver. And not to make light of opioid addiction, but it's exactly the same as those guys that you see on the street dealing with drug addiction. That's
Jesus.
how insane
The obsession.
marathoners are.
The endorphins.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to be. I think about just myself, and like I've tried to go out and jog before. I would like to actually be a runner. There's a thing in my head that makes me want to.
Yeah, you get drawn to it.
But then you go out and do it.
Yeah.
And you get drawn back to the couch.
Doesn't go well.
Yeah, like I'm a skateboarder. I've been a skateboarder my whole life, and I go out and I can skate for 4 and 5 and 6 hours,
Yeah, which is not easy.
which is not easy.
And if you
but-
ask a non-skateboarder to go that even an hour,
100%.
yeah,
they're using muscles they've never used. They're
But-
say what you will about the cardio aspect, it's not
Yeah.
easy.
no, it's not. But
This is beautiful.
I started when I was a teen, and it was like, it was like I just didn't give a shit, right? And I just threw myself down everything and whatever. And so now when I go out and skate, yeah, it's kind of hard, but in a way, but I also know so much already that it carries me through.
Yeah.
And that's how I would get my like endurance and all that. But if I go to running, all of a sudden it's like 10 minutes and I'm going, why? Why is anyone doing this?
It's hard.
So why? For real?
Well-
What might make me change my mind?
There is an endorphin release, but it doesn't come in 10 minutes. The whole runner's high thing, I used to believe it. I run all the time. I might experience it once every 15 runs.
It's like this stunt man's adrenaline.
Yeah, and it's like it's for 2 minutes, and you
Really?
go, "Oh, this might be what the runner's high is." Or I've been in the middle of a marathon. I've been in the middle of a marathon where you're at the 20-mile mark where you're supposed to hit the wall, and I felt fantastic. And I'm like, "What wall? This wall is bullshit." And 2 miles later, I can't even walk. Oh, that wall.
Oh, wow.
So, to people want to try to start running, so Steve Shackleton, after his heart attack, I was like, you need to walk and run. You don't just run. And you need to stay gentle and stay heart rate based and stay super gentle.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say, I'm going out for 15 minutes, my first run, and you walk a minute, run a minute, walk a minute, or even a minute and 30 seconds of running and a minute of walking, or even
Right.
2 minutes of walking and 30 seconds of running.
Right.
And it's boring, and it's like, what am I doing? And guess what happens over the course of doing that 5-6 days in a row? All of a sudden, you can run the whole 15 minutes, and you don't realize, oh, I don't have to walk, because
Really, eh?
that slow, gentle working of the heart,
You're building it.
mitochondria is getting built, and I could get into this whole Peter, every podcaster you see on YouTube now. And that's when it starts to grab you. And you start to go, I feel good. I could go 5 more minutes. Or, if you have a block and you do once around the block, and then a week later you're like, I could go twice around the block. But if you put pressure on yourself or you consider it working out,
Yeah.
I think we just make it more difficult than it has to be. For me, like if I'm having a gym day, a strength day, which as I get older doesn't have to be hauling big weight around.
Sure.
But you need to warm up and get the muscles warm before you do squats or bench press. 7 minutes on the treadmill is somebody's idea of a warm up. I'm like, 7 minutes? What are we drinking while we're having the warm up? Like that's easy, right?
Okay.
But you're just getting your heart going. I would say go out for 10 minutes and don't run. Just walk really fast.
Okay.
If you have
I walk all the time.
you have a smartwatch with a stopwatch on it?
No, maybe I should.
Well, no, I would never say go buy an Apple Watch or a Garmin in an effort to get into running. That ain't me. But just if you can monitor your heart rate, go what we call zone 2, zone 1, zone 2. You're just elevating it a tiny bit. Or sort of like if you're going from base to the lunch line, you want to beat the crew. That level of running.
That's
Now
hilarious.
he's talking our.
Jesus.
Blair guy,
Felt
Blair,
so
Blair
familiar.
like that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that makes
it's
sense.
just getting
Okay.
your heart working.
Yeah.
Is where the benefits are. You don't have to go kill yourself. I was doing a track workout the other day in Brampton, and it's like there's this pro football team working out. There was a girl doing sprints with an umbrella on her back.
Oh, trip.
Like for
Yep.
resistance.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's like this is a whole other level. And like,
That's cool, though.
who's this old guy going around the track and running my little 10-minute miles, like warming up for my intervals. And I was like, it's inspiring on one level, like seeing these kids and how athletic they are.
Do you wear headphones?
Yeah.
Play some music or something?
I play music, sometimes podcasts.
Sometimes a Going
I
Again
listen to
podcast.
Going Again.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Everyone should listen to
Only
Going
only
Again.
the Sean Watson episode, though.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
fun.
over and over.
Over and over and over.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, his Sheridan College experience speaks so much to me. I'm just kidding, Sean. No, I loved it. I loved what I listened to in the car.
Cool.
He's
We
so
had a
amazing.
ball with
I mean,
him.
I just did a show with him, so he's fresh in my
He's
mind.
awesome.
Yeah, he always is. He's one of my faves. He came in on Taken at the end, like as a guest.
Okay.
I can't remember who he was saving or what he was, but he was like, he was there for 2 or 3 weeks, and he was just like, this is insane. Like he's coming from Rookie Blue or wherever he was. It's like, it was an absolutely insane show, but I love his spirit, his attitude.
Absolutely.
He's smart.
I'm
Yeah.
a
He's
big
funny.
fan.
He does
And
all
he's
this
just
stuff.
cool.
He's the
Level.
epitome of a great first AD.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Nisha a couple of times, and this is your lady,
Another first AD.
and she's a first AD as well, first assistant director. And anybody that wants to know what a first assistant director is, watch Sean Watson.
Sean Watson episode.
And he may not even learn then, but
Yeah. That was
that was
a
funny.
scattered one.
Yeah.
Did he not make it clear?
It's funny because when we were finishing, he said, we'll have to do take 2 because then he'll tell us what he does for a living.
Right.
Yeah, I think you can snip like 11 minutes somewhere out of the whole total to really find where the first AD.
Yeah.
It's a
Like
tough.
a lesson on the first AD.
It's a tough job to describe. It really is. But even as you tangent during I mean, this is my first time ever doing a podcast, but I listened to a ton of them, and I know the ability to tangent and then but getting back to,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
and that's always an uplifting moment. Like you brought him back to whatever.
Right.
You guys went on a tangent.
Yeah, we went on so many with Sean.
Yeah, you were
was a
talking
weird-
like he was an office PA, and then you went off for 6-7 minutes, and then it was like, so back to
Right.
Wendy Green or whatever show that was.
Right.
Power Play, I think.
That's right. I think it was.
Yeah, that's kind of what's cool about podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fun, man. And do you agree that we're learning anything from podcasts, or do you think that the legacy news should still run?
No, I completely agree that we're learning something from podcasts. They've become. I mean, my story editor and best friend Jennifer, she's told me 10 years ago that I should get into podcasting. I didn't know what it was. I mean, I knew what it was. That's like telling me 20 years ago I should have gotten into blogging.
Totally.
Right.
We're writers.
Became the
100%.
It's like, how do we express ourselves? We love to write. We love to make movies. We like all this stuff. So, and I was like, nah, I can't do the blogging thing. I'd prefer to like journal or write my own stuff at home, or write screenplays, write essays, whatever.
Sure.
And then the podcasting thing happened. I was like, oh, that's so complicated. And what am I going to talk about? And who am I going to be?
Yeah, you can tell it's really complicated.
Well, it is. I mean, the time and effort and moolah to put this together is impressive. And then it's, once you're done, it's work. But then look how we look at a previs. good loop around a previs, where somebody says, "Give me a previs of that," and you're like, "Yeah, no problem."
Yeah.
It's part of your job. You're going to get paid. And then whether you have to get 3 people together or 33 people together, and then you got to shoot it, cut it, think about it, this is that. It's like all the same. It's just about effort. You guys have made the effort, and it's really cool. And yes, we definitely learned from it, because what I'm liking about it now is another form of addiction, I guess. I'm using podcasts to go back to sleep when I wake up.
Yeah.
I'm using podcasts. I don't run to them too much, but if I want to run slow and make sure I run slow, I'll put on a boring running podcast, or I'll put on the news.
Right.
Sure.
And I find myself walking fast, because it's just not 180 beats per minute, getting you running like a maniac, right? So I think there's a lot to be learned from the what's the expression you just used? Legacy news. I don't know how I feel about the news anymore.
I know.
Well, there's an honesty to podcasts.
There is, and whether you're doing the camera part or not, you have a luxury in that honesty. I think you have an ability to let it be what it's going to be day in and day out. Whereas legacy news, it's got rules, right? It needs to be this, and this, whether they're telling the truth or not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or what they're reporting. I mean, there's no way we could wrap our heads around what's going on out there right now. It's too much of a subject. But I've weaned myself. My socials have cut down like to almost nothing. I made a crack the other day on somebody's funny post, and she wrote back, "Oh yeah," I said, "Sorry, I hope this isn't creepy or whatever." She's like, "Yeah, because you post so often," like sarcastically, because I'm never on anymore. Or I'll be on set and people are like, "What happened to you on Facebook?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Well, we don't see you anymore." I'm like, "Well, I'm right there, and you're obviously looking for me. I'm just not posting."
Right.
I wrote a huge article years and years ago about a couple of friends called me saying, "Are you okay? Like, we haven't seen it." It's because they hadn't seen me on Facebook, and they were worried about my well-being. I was like, "Okay, we're in trouble.
That's crazy.
We're in trouble here." And I had just finished reading, I'm going to blank on the name of the book, but a novel about, like, this is 2018, 2019, a novel about the far-right nut bars that were generating a lot of, nothing to do with MAGA, social nut bars. I can't remember any of their names now, but anyway,
Okay.
I had discovered Rich Roll, and I had discovered some deep thinking guys that I could relate to. He was a cocaine addict, alcoholic athlete who turned himself around by becoming an ultra endurance athlete, doing triathlons and stuff. And it just so something about him resonated with me. It's because, like, as you age, you're like, I'd like to eat less hamburgers and drink less scotch and maybe do less cocaine, whatever the hell it was, right?
I'm just so glad I'm not aging.
So
Cheers.
I've learned a lot from those podcasts, because people tell me I sound and look and seem great for my age. And I'm always like, why is it always about our age? We're 9 years old in the movie business. We get paid to play in a sandbox.
Yeah.
We're all 9.
Toby Keith used to sing about it. I mean, how old would you be if you didn't know the day you were born? So I'd rather just go there.
I always say 9.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, Randy and I have always been 2 peas in a pod that way in terms of how we view the industry.
100%.
You guys are very similar in that you kind of you have interests everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, from acting and directing and all that other stuff.
All the hyphenate stuff. Yeah, we are.
Is that? I mean,
We're more
that's-
similar than you think, but that's a Rhonda thing. We won't go there.
Thanks, Dad.
I did that. I just did that for Blair, and he got it right away.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fun.
not sure I got it.
I'm your father. No.
Okay.
Funny,
Interesting.
More funny than that is that I've known him, probably 40 years or,
Easily,
or close to 40.
Yeah.
And I've never, ever met Rhonda.
Well, that's the funny thing.
She's really good at staying away.
She
That is crazy.
if we end up having time to go have a beer at the pub, she will come down and
Oh, cool.
have
Well, that's
have a
true.
beer.
Are you going to stick around for a bit?
I can stick around for a bit. I have a fitting, but it's
Well, why don't we just end the podcast now?
it's a fitting to play a dead body.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's so funny.
They don't
know
even have to put the
the,
clothes on you. They just have to lay them.
Oh, they're just stressing. I don't know much about the show. Like I just said yes, and I don't like. Coordinator said I have an easy day for you if you want it, and it's sort of like I feel like the little.
It's like whether you
Yeah.
said
little
that or you-
Dwayne-isms come in, and you go, "Oh my God, I'm becoming Dwayne." Like I'd never
Shout
gonna-
out to Dwayne.
I'm never going to say I love Dwayne. I'm never going to say I just need to make enough to pay for my golf, which is what he was famous for years. But I don't necessarily want easy days. We did something the other day. Like he and I probably would have preferred to throw 90s around a corner or come
100%.
out of the driveway
They
backwards.
say it like you're looking for it.
Yeah, just make me think for 10 minutes and make me a little bit nervous, and then I'll feel alive. But if it's like you're basically an extra, but we owe you this legacy thing. It's like
Hey, are you
easy
face
day.
down so you don't burn yourself on the show?
No, I get rolled over. So I told her that's hard. Like getting rolled over as a dead body,
Yeah.
probably exposed in a frickin' ECU. That's hard to do. I don't know if I have it in me. She said, I have faith in you. Like being dead. And what if they want eyes open? I mean, I'm legitimately nervous.
For those of you listening, ECU is an extreme close-up.
Sorry. Didn't mean to throw links.
It's all good.
Hilarious.
I'm going to try not to be nervous about it. But
Is
no,
it-
and the
is it
thing
not
I
sh-
did with Marco, when I said that earlier dead body was in 1987, there's so many like go full circle stories because that was for Saul Rubinek,
Yeah.
who was the first actor I ever worked with as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, we were both kids. He's older than me, though. And Marco was the first time I'd ever done anything with him where I was performing and he was coordinating. And I had it was an air tank with a long hose. And the regulator was like, this is 1987. The longer that hose is, the harder the air is going to be to get. And I'm not a diver. I just lied and faked my way through everything. Of course I can do that. So here's the regulator, and down you go. And I just had to be face down in the water and then get plopped up and spit the regulator out so they could plop me up. Well, I was like,
That's amazing. Speaking of being alike, I had to do the same thing in a goose shit infested pond, lake.
yeah, it's not
It's
fun.
horrible.
Not fun.
Remember, I told you about this. Between all these canoes, I had to lay between canoes with a hose in my mouth, and it went to the tank
yeah.
over there under the, and then they moved the canoes and revealed the dead body.
Right.
I did the same thing.
That hose, the longer
That
it is,
sucks.
the tougher it is.
Sucks.
And you got to just like relax into it and be cool. Well, there's a guy who had to do that gag, and I think it was Allison. I think she fired him. We're not going to say any names, but he had to be just barely submerged. I think a bus flips, and the bus is in the water, and he had to be in the bus in the water, and it freaked him out.
Yeah.
And he ran off set. He didn't
Oh,
just
wow.
say I can't do this. He quit with flair
Oh, Jesus.
because it's an uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm not on air next week, so the hard part's going to be dying. But John Cassavetes, the American legend filmmaker, I had to lie dead on a table in 1981 on a movie called Incubus, and with my eyes open, like an autopsy scene. And the guy's about to cut me open, and Cassavetes is teaching me how to keep my eyeballs from moving. He goes, close your eyes, and he put his fingers on my eyeballs, and he's like, okay, stop moving your eyeballs, okay, and now open them. And it's like, at the time, it worked. But in my head, I was like, this is John fucking Cassavetes.
I know. That's so funny. That's awesome.
I was just like, oh my God. And I was 19. It's like, how lucky can you get?
Yeah.
Now, we do know that when you get to set, sometimes they throw something at you. Right? You never know. That's why you're hired. You're the baddest dude around to hire for this
right.
dead body. So they might ask you to do a seizure or...
Or a monologue.
Yeah, monologue.
You never know.
While drinking a seizure.
You never know. Yeah. You never know.
Oh, wait. Oh, you want me to be alive? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I see your one-liner?
That's different.
Never know.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, that's enough about running, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back to running.
Okay.
So,
No.
I think that we should.
Still, it's really hard to answer where you're from.
Well, let's shift into something like directing. Are you still?
You ever
Are
directed
you
runners?
working toward? Like, are you still second unit directing and doing these things? I mean,
I am. I did second unit on a Jonas Brothers movie last winter, and I did a day or two on Murderbot, which was great.
that's awesome.
And yeah, I mean, it's very hard to get hired to direct main unit out of the blue. It's a tiny, tiny club, and it's a crazy system. And I was in that loophole system at the end of Warehouse 13. I finally got an episode of network television and shot my episode. And then what I was asked to do was drop it down about 8 levels and go into like an apprenticeship program. And I said no. So I'm not sure if I still regret that, but
what does that mean? Explain that, please.
so I'd done my first feature. We won a bunch of awards, went on did the circus stuff. And
A fish story.
A fish story. I'd shot my, the ubiquitous short, like you guys have done. You know what it takes. And because of the Warehouse 13 episode, it's like I'm now on NBC Universal's radar, and I took a big meeting in LA with them. Ironically, they ended up being the 2 people that ran The Expanse. But you can't get in on a show in its first season when it's, there's 75 guys lined up and girls. So
For that entry-level position.
for that entry-level thing, yeah. So, but after the Warehouse thing, it went really well, and Warehouse went well because they'd come to Fish Story, to a screening of Fish Story. And they're like, get this guy. So there's a rotation amongst the studios of Canadian-born guys, mostly. I think Helen Shaver is the only woman I can think of.
Okay.
Maybe Pedeswa, one of the Pedeswa girls. I can't, anyway. You're on a rotational list. So there's enough shows between, say, Newfoundland and Toronto and Vancouver that, so I was put on a short list for A Falling Skies. I was put on a short list for, what's the show Ali did out west? The Western. There's another one in Nova Scotia about ghosts and all that stuff. So you're now on the list, but we need you to apprentice. You need to shadow. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, I just directed an episode of network television for Universal, and you want me to shadow who?
Exactly.
And the person I was shadowing had been, 23 years old.
Yeah, had less experience.
Yeah. So I'm not going to learn anything. And ironically, it came from E. What's the company I'm blanking? E Entertainment.
E1.
E1.
E1 Entertainment.
It came from E1. So I had
Yeah.
a very hoity-toity meeting at a hoity-toity boutique hotel in Hollywood, 2 minutes from the house. We need you to shadow this person. I was like, I have to think about that, because it's like, I was going to lose work.
Are you shadowing the showrunner? Or
No, the director.
No.
Like,
The director
Okay.
of one of those shows. So
Okay.
I keep saying Nova Scotia because it was in Nova Scotia. I was like, so I'm going to go to Halifax. I'm going to be there for like 2 weeks of prep, whatever the heck he was doing. And then his 21-day shoot or his 18-day shoot, whatever it was. And then I got to go do it again. Like it was literally, it wasn't laid out in any terms of how long it was going to be, but it was like, for you to join this family, we need you to do this.
5 weeks.
But meanwhile, I'd been, that list of Canadian guys, I'd been coordinating for them like my whole career. I knew them all.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them would be like, you shoot this. I have no idea what to do. And so it's very hard to say to an executive, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. You're not getting paid. You're just going. So I couldn't imagine myself going to set and just watching decisions being made. And it's for a much, much younger filmmaker, coming out of school, see how a set works, et cetera, et cetera. So a DGA rep was on Murderbot, and she remembered she used to work for E1. And she goes, oh, Matt Birman, no, I know you. Yeah. It was funny. But anyway, it's very, very difficult. So the reason I second unit as much as I can is because it just keeps the juices flowing. And
Sure.
I'm trying to make my next feature at the same time. And I'm never going to say no to directing anything. Basically is basically where it is. I never knew that I wanted to direct until it was handed to me. It was one of the things that I do, like writing, acting, photography, all that stuff. I knew I wanted to do it.
Yeah, you compile all that.
Yeah.
You got directing.
The first time I was asked to direct, I was like, oh, sure, that sounds fun. I just was not thinking about it. I watched TJ do it first on Friday the 13th and then on Top Cops, but it's not something I ever aspired to. As Scotty moved up, I kept moving up. Like, oh, now I'm coordinating because he's directing, you know. But
Interesting.
yeah, and what's funny is I second unit directed for him a couple of years ago on an episode of Taken. It was like, I go, where are you going next? Because I just keep taking.
I'll follow you.
I just keep moving up. So if you're going to be a studio head, I'll be directing, and then when we buy the studio, I'll be the studio head. This is a very funny moment. But yeah, I do. I love directing. Like the car thing I just did on the Jonas Brothers thing was very satisfying. It was fun because it's surrounded by great drivers and good people, and it was minus 35. I don't think either of you guys was there.
What the fuck?
No, I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
I think
that we weren't there.
I got
Right. I was getting that.
Yeah, I totally. Hey, we forgot to call Andrew.
And Blair.
And Blair should be like, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So the guy we blame for all of this is Tom Parr, because when I got the job, I went, my coordinator is Tom Parr.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It's
Well, I
the
can call
easiest
Tom.
thing to do. Tom's like, what? And he was.
Shout out to Tom Farr, who doesn't hire.
Anybody.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
No,
Love
he doesn't
Tom.
even want to
I
work.
love Tom.
Great guy. Anyway, yeah. So that's where directing came from.
So directing second unit, do you have how do I want to say this? You're going in and you're shooting someone else's movie, and you have to work within the parameters of that person's vision. And does that bug you?
Sometimes, if the person has no clue,
Yeah, yeah.
but that has no clue is in the context of my opinion of it, right? So maybe that person does have a clue, and I just can't get a grasp of it.
No, so no, that's an interesting statement. That's awesome.
Because
But that said, I keep mentioning that the director on a TV series is the only entry level
it
position.
is, and now
I'm asked often what to do, what to do next, how to do this.
how do we do it?
Can you go and shoot this?
It bugs you.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can't say it bugs me because for the most part, I know going in, I'm serving somebody else's vision.
of course.
I'm a hired,
Yeah,
and I just sort of do this. And now that's now. It used to bug me when
Yeah.
I was building a reel and I was like, pay attention to me. And I wanted to impress people.
right.
The Falling Skies thing always comes to mind because it's, some guy named Steven. When you were lining me up and you said go to his left, his right, and I said short side. So Steven Spielberg came to set one day and everybody got a selfie except who? Because I was taking all the selfies. And I, at one point, said, oh, I've got you short-sighted, and didn't realize I'm trying to impress Steven Spielberg with my lingo. And
Yeah.
he said, oh, director? I was, joking back. And that was like, I was so chuffed. I was like, oh, he got what I meant by short-sighted. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, the only dumb fuck without a shot with Steven Spielberg is me. I took all the shots for everybody with their phones. So anyway, yeah, it can bug you. And that goes full circle because Falling Skies moved to Vancouver after that pilot.
Right.
I had done 3 Amblin/Spielberg SKG pilots that all got picked up. So I was like the pilot guy as a coordinator. And then I'm shortlisted for an episode of Falling Skies, and my showrunner from Warehouse 13 was working as a hired, fix-it man in the writer's room on Falling Skies, whatever season it was. Noah Wiley, the star, had read Fish Story at one point way back and considered starring in it. And the note from Amblin was, oh, no, we love him, but he's a stunt coordinator. So I didn't get the episode.
It's letterbox. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna.
That
ask
bugged me.
about-
yeah.
That was like, I could have gotten my second episode of network TV, but I'm a stunt coordinator.
How
Same
many?
with acting, right?
Man.
You can't have the part, you're a stunt guy.
Yeah.
You go through this, I'm sure, all
We
All the
all the
time.
time.
and you have casting people who have known me now for dinosaurs age.
Yeah.
that know I'm an actor, and they know I don't like that, and they still do it. It just happened on Patchett's show.
Actually, I was told once by a casting director, I asked, why don't, like, there's all these great roles. Why, I can act. Why don't I come out for these things? And they told me that they would lose their stunt actor if I became
just an actor.
Just an actor. And I went, whoa. There's not a lot of guys in Toronto doing what I do.
There still aren't.
There aren't.
We've been preaching this for years. Well, Randy and myself and Junior at one point, Kevin Rushton at one point, we preached it for years. Why don't more of you figure this out?
It's filmmaking.
You can't, you're just making fools of yourselves. You got to give yourselves all the tools. I'm making fools meaning you ever see Ty Cody or Marco act, it's there's no problem, but you're a damn good little actor, and not to say little like you're little.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's impossible for them to wrap their heads around either A, I lose the stunt actor possibility, I don't know who else to bring in, or B, he's a stunt guy, and I don't want my client, director, producer, whatever, won't take me seriously as a casting director if I send up all these stunt guys. And the best example was the audition. We did these giant moo calls for Universal Soldier that you got a part in. And a lot of guys came in and literally had one line of dialogue because they were robot type characters. And they'd say the name, the GR something, whatever the name of the character was. Ready for deployment was the line. You just had to look at the camera and go, ready for deployment, and be robotic, but let's see if these guys can act. I'm like, that's not going to tell you if a guy can act or not. And Kevin came in, 35 guys came in, and Kevin came in and went, ready for employment. And it was Jeff Wolno, and he went, that guy! I want that guy to play the part.
Because he was ready for employment.
He got it. Because he was like a thinking, creative person. Everybody else was like,
that's awesome, yeah.
Yeah. But, let us go. There's a bunch of guys that can, Danny Lima, dare I say it, can have his moments. Not an actor, doesn't get any of it, but is completely natural and hysterical. So in your prison thing, I don't know if you were in the room for this moment where Stephen goes, give me the best actor. And the entire room points at me like this. And Binkley goes like this. What about me?
Yeah, that's funny.
And Stephen picked up on it, but he knew me because of Taken. So he was like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, you're an actor. So I'm going to be the guy that's going to start the whole freaking riot with a little bit of dialogue. And Binks gets picked to be the guard with me. And then Stephen goes, okay, give me like a little Latino guy. Give me a skinhead. Give me a little skinhead is what he said. And Danny, of course, he's right there. Rutledge pushed him forward or something, and Danny had white, blonde bleached hair and a huge lobster suntan. Okay. And just looked hammered no matter what, you know what he looks like.
Sounds like Danny today.
It's just Danny. And
I love you, Danny.
He gets shoved forward, and he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And it's and Stephen goes, okay, a Latino skinhead with hair. Daddy got the part. Didn't speak, but he got the part. So it's we're all actors. You ever see The Stuntman?
Yes.
Richard Rush?
Yes.
Which is not about stunts. I love it. It's because I love movies about movie making. And
Never heard of it.
Yeah, we should watch it.
It's just about the trickery, and the log line for the film was, if God could do the tricks that we can do, he'd be a happy man. And the poster was like a devil figure sitting on a dolly. Peter O'Toole's the director, and he plays God, but you must see The Stuntman.
Richard Walker has a poster from The Stuntman and has been trying to give it to me for 2 years, and we haven't been able to hook up to grab it.
It's a gorgeous poster.
It would go good back here somewhere.
It's the coolest graphic. He's on a dolly.
Yeah.
And we saw that film in '81 at the Montreal Film Festival, and I met Richard Rush in the lobby, and he was crying because it was his dream. And it's not so much about stunts. I mean, it's the backdrop. But I love movies about movie making.
Yeah, I do too.
And so just saying, the magic of Danny being able to play a Latino skinhead with hair, only in the movies, It's
yeah, that's so fun.
I don't know if this has really much to do with what we're saying exactly, but I remember being on a movie with you. What was that movie with It was the guy who played Tarzan in the TV show, and there was a wolf thing going on.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Oh man, years ago. I don't even know what I was there for, what the stunt was or whatever it was, but I remember the director being like, "Okay, we need somebody to scream just at this moment," and he just chose background, and he was like, "You, give me a scream," and the guy went, or something like that, and he went,
No.
"You, give me a scream," and the next guy fucking, I can't even do it here. He shrieked,
Yeah, yeah.
and they went, "You," right, and that
He was
moment.
looking for an energy.
That moment taught me like unbelievable amount of shit. I just, from that moment forward, I was like, oh, you got to commit.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
swear to God,
And you
I
gotta
think
be-
about that all the time.
You got to be seen and heard. It's like it used to be not a speech, but a mantra that I would say to people: that, how do I get in? How do I do this? We were joking about this the other day. I said, well, if you're Dwayne McQueen, you say you don't. And but I would tell people that to get as much background, you start background work, get SSE work, tell BG Casting that you want SSE work. Here are my skills, and then when you're on that set, get in people's sight. Don't be in the back, 4 rows back when they raise their hand. Can anybody sail a catamaran? Like get to the front of the line and get into people's eyeballs. It's the only way to make it happen.
Yes.
And for those of you listening, BG means background, and
Right.
SSE is special skills extra.
I love your low mic voice.
Yeah, we need a cheat sheet.
You guys
on
want
that.
to talk about my voice career? Or
Yeah,
the
that's-
fact that it ended.
That's what I'm doing. I'm auditioning for voice work.
Apparently, I'm a star in Budapest because of a series I did the voice for.
Really?
Yeah, I have followers on like YouTube. They, if you go to find the YouTube links, every now and then I'll write on the threads like, "It's me, hi,"
Oh, that's great.
and the guy would write to me and be like, "You have no idea what a big star you are here." I'm like,
Have you ever seen Saving Silverman? Or no, fuck.
Sarah Silverman.
No, I'm completely ridiculous for even saying any of that. What's the movie? Saving Sugarman, I think it's called.
Oh, wait,
Or
Finding Sugarman.
yeah. Oh, the
documentary.
singer. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Detroit.
Amazing.
And all of a sudden his like South African following or something is just absolutely
bring
through the
him.
roof, and he didn't know.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they bring him to do a concert, and
Yeah.
every freaking person in the country shows
He's
up.
sweeping streets in Detroit.
Yeah.
And
I remember, and he's since passed away, but it's a phenomenal film.
Is he-
It
Passed
is.
away,
It's a
yeah.
great film.
Yeah, great documentary.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I cried like a baby when he plays the concert.
It's so good.
in South Africa.
Oh, it's so good, man.
Like he can't. I love
Like,
that
what
he
the
can't
hell?
believe it. It's insane.
But you gotta know that he's thinking this past 20 years would have been a lot easier.
Yeah. Why didn't somebody tell me?
It kind of
I
reminds
would
me
have.
of.
I would have moved to Johannesburg.
It reminds me of. It reminds me of Sunny Nights.
A little bit.
Fuck.
He might
Yeah.
have come out of his apartment sooner.
Yeah, exactly.
I-
Wow, look at this. He knows it. I love it.
I know. It's fun.
I love it.
Sorry, you told me on the way in, and I
You didn't
forgot.
say it
What's
was
the name of the donut place?
Shit.
Shitholes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we gotta get that hanging right here.
Isn't it up here? Where's the?
No, where the hell?
Where's the
Oh,
license
there's the
plate?
hats. There's the hats.
Oh yeah. There it is. That's why I get all these things that are. And that's Blair, right?
That's me.
That's you.
Yeah, Blair's on the disc.
Blair's on the DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, which nobody buys anymore.
Yeah.
No, but more importantly,
Go on the wide so people know where you're sitting, Blair.
more importantly, the day he ran around that corner, I was coordinating.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
that's cool.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Finding Sugarman,
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
No.
just-
So
yeah.
I was doing a con in Philadelphia Atlantic City.
Just a second. For those of you listening, doing a con
Is a convention.
has nothing to do with prison. Just the other day, I'm in Philadelphia
tricking
doing a
anyone.
con.
Yeah.
He's at a convention.
What was his name? Well, it might have been a female con. I was at a convention, and it was when you. I made a joke to a fan gave me fan art.
Yes.
It was a caricature of myself in Urban Legend. It
What?
just chuffed my soul. I was like, this is so meaningful.
Yeah.
And I turned to the guy that manages me. I don't want to say my manager. It sounds so pretentious, but I said, can you get me a show in Bulgaria? I was a voiceover artist. Apparently, I'm very big. It's called Ulysses 31. Get me a show there, and maybe we'll make like $20,000 in a weekend. It was just so cool how they.
Hold on.
What's his name there? Freddie. The guy who played Freddie. I'm going to blank on his name. They wear gloves, the really popular horror guys, because they're signing so much.
Right.
Oh,
I get $40. He gets $80.
Edward?
And they're lined up for 3 days. Like, he's got to be $25,000, $30,000.
Wow.
And he's got this special glove on. Crazy.
the guy who plays
Like he wears a glove.
Hodor?
or the guy
Hodder?
that's
He's Friday the 13th.
I'm sure.
Freddy
Siri.
Krueger. Freddy Krueger.
No, he's not.
I'm sure Blair is looking it up as we speak because that's what he
But
did.
I think his name is Hodder. Anyway, he's my age at least, and you're like, that's the guy behind the mask. He's either Michael Myers or he's Freddy Krueger. One of the no, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy is
what's his
I
name?
know his name, and I
he
can't
was
even
in our
think of
movie.
it.
He was in Urban Legend.
Yeah, I worked with him.
Robert Englund.
Yeah, Robert.
Robert England.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome guy.
This guy is
Loves to surf.
Michael Myers.
Okay.
Who's probably paid nothing to be Michael Myers.
Right.
But he's never.
But he's such an iconic character. He's making a ton now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so the cons you can get paid to sign, you can get paid for a photograph, you get paid for all sorts of special stuff. You can do a private,
I was hoping to do a Twisted Metal thing. I
and a con.
had
Oh my God. The podcast is taking a turn.
Well, my manager calls when I get there, and he goes like, "I got a private for you. It's going to be $3,000." I'm like, "What?"
And it's not
How?
Forrest Gump.
It's not.
He's a private.
So I had to do this 300 times.
yeah, that's
Crazy.
wild though.
Yeah, you never know. So Alex Armbruster, our
Yeah, I was gonna
fabulously talented performers, is going through the same thing. In fact, he was in Atlantic City too.
Yeah,
Is he with your
every
same
weekend.
manager?
Pardon? No, we're at different managers.
Okay.
It just happens that we're both Toronto. We knew each other. I think I tried to turn him on to my guy, and he ended up with another guy because his is with the rest of the cast of his movie
Right.
that you're in, right?
Yes.
You gotta.
I'm the grandfather in the truck
Yeah.
that gets the Mayflower.
That's right. We were on
Through the
set.
head.
And Randy's like, "What about me?"
Well, it's funny because you hear about what Armbruster's doing, and then you start trying to get roles that like sort of go there. You're like, "Fuck, give me
Exactly.
something," you know. And I remember I was on Twisted Metal last year with a character, and I know that just maybe this week or 2 weeks ago they're at the San Diego con, right?
Yeah, Comic-Con.
And they got a bunch of characters there, or 2 or 3 or whatever it was, and I was trying to get them. They're sending my vehicle.
All right.
They're just not sending my character.
What about you?
Yeah, that's
like,
what I asked.
There's a clown in that, right? Like the clown.
Yeah, yeah.
The clown must.
Which
do,
is the
he must
number
do
one.
Every con. Yeah.
He could have done cons before even becoming the clown. That's how popular that clown is because it's a video.
It's
game
a video
from, like
game.
91
Yeah.
or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That job got away from me. I was given and taken away twice before it was taken away for good.
It was a good one. It was, I mean, nowadays I think
They
the
do
most
good
popular thing
stuff.
to say is communication is fucking lax on every friggin' set you're on, but
I saw some footage
know,
though. It's
it was
crazy,
cool, man. Yeah, it
all
was
that
cool.
gasoline.
it was fun as hell. A lot of
They
explosions.
They
and
lit up.
random shit.
They lit up an EXO with camera guys in it at one point.
Yeah, they did. Man, they did some risky shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I don't know whether you want to call it smart
Yeah. Yeah.
or,
yeah.
but it was cool.
Yeah, you got to question how smart is it to call it? It's old school, but it's like old school was because it's all we knew, and there was no other
True.
way to do it.
True.
You know,
Yep.
you
a
had
good way
to
to
go.
put
You
it.
had to go through the window and fall the 48 feet.
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah,
And now you can avoid it.
Now you don't
if you're
have
doing it, you're just stupid, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe
so-
my own movie will be like that. We can just retire to doing cons because we were in a movie. I don't know. I mean, Urban Legend.
Well, I'm available.
It happened to me to do this because the film was 25th anniversary and there was going to be a big reunion. So the first one I did was in Houston, and I went down for this big reunion, and there was nobody else showed up.
Rewind a minute. Let's talk about this. How did this start and why? And
Well, Urban Legend was just another job in Toronto. It was a horror film,
Mm-hmm.
and but the cast was extremely young. Robert Englund was the cameo, and John Neville, the great English actor, was a cameo. But Tara Reid was brand new, and somebody named Jared Leto was brand new.
Oh my.
And they were all like 18, 20 years old, and I got the coordinating job. And
Tara Reid.
yeah, who called me.
Wow.
And her expression for me was, "You fucking rock."
Cool.
So Rebecca Gayheart is the killer in the movie. She's the character that ends up killing everybody. An urban legend, of course, based on a series of urban legends. There were sequels, but weren't as good.
Okay.
Jamie Blanks is a young Australian hot director at the time. This was like 1997, I want to say, I think, or 8. I can't remember when we shot it. And it's like, well, we need to find a killer. The killer wears this parka and a balaclava, and you can't see their face. And we don't want to give away that it's Rebecca Gayheart. So I brought 5 or 6 girls in, and it was just a movement thing. How do you move? How do you hold an axe? How do you kill people? Didn't like any of them. You can tell it's a girl. Maybe it should be a guy, so we can throw them off. So I bring in 5 or 6 more guys, movement thing that are not that are close to her size. Doesn't like any of them. Turns to me and says, "You should just do it. You're going to be there every day anyway."
So they liked your opinion that nobody was good.
I wasn't trying to get the job, trust me. And
Okay.
one of the producers couldn't stand the idea. He was like, no, you need to do your job. Like, you can't possibly.
Right.
And I was like, this is a case where if there were 2 units, of course, but there was like 2 second unit days, and it didn't make a difference. And it was like, I'm going to be there every minute of every day. It was 42 or 3 straight nights of crane rain. It was absolutely difficult. Anyway, I ended up playing the part.
For those of you listening, crane rain.
Crane rain.
Was it cold as fuck? Is that
It
what you're?
wasn't so much cold, it was wet.
Sounds like a song.
It was just wet. Yeah.
It was a tough shoot.
It's as cold as fuck. Sorry.
That's actually funny.
I was okay because I was wearing a parka.
Okay.
But yeah, I can remember. So there were 3 big jobs in a row: Urban Legend, Universal Soldier, and then Blessed Child. So that's how I know those 3 years, is because it was when I first started doing 1 job a year. And it was like, it's not. Whereas in the 80s, early 90s, we were like, you didn't
Boom,
do
boom,
5
boom.
sets in a day. Sometimes. TJ and I once did 102 hours straight on 3 shows.
Jesus, man.
And it's not safe or healthy.
No, it's not. I went through a couple of years
You
where I was
were
sleeping in
around.
my truck.
Some of that stuff. And do you remember John Dyer? He was an operator, cameraman.
I do.
The Top Cops days. And I'm driving, and Scotty's my passenger, and we're talking about how long we've been up for. He's in the back, handheld, looking through the 2 of us, and he goes, "How long?" And we said, 89 hours and counting. He got out of the car. He said, "I'm not doing this." So we were driving into a ditch, and he was like, "I'm not doing this."
Holy fuck.
Yeah, back then it was cuckoo, but when the stunt team started, that was the norm. They do 4 or 5 sets a day because they were the only game in town. Whoa.
But see, nowadays they can't even try doing that because there too many people will complain and make a big thing about it and all that other stuff.
It's
not-
hard. It's hard now to even, I don't coordinate if I'm directing.
Yeah.
They may pay me for it, but we'll put somebody else on the call sheet.
Well, back then you just put your rights to the side.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays they're like all about the rights.
Yeah,
you
all
know.
that stuff, and safety. Like
Right or wrong.
I legitimately won't coordinate if there's wire. If I'm directing and there's wire, I won't do it because of the accident we had with CJ, where I was the coordinator of record.
Yeah.
Bronco was covering me, but I was directing. But she ended up falling and had like a hairline fracture. There were lawsuits. There's all sorts of stuff. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. Okay.
So all the flying we did on the Expanse and Warehouse and even Beacon 23, I never directed on Beacon, but it's like I'm doing one thing and one thing only.
Yeah, you don't want to divide your attention.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And that's why it sort of spreads through the community. How come he coordinated? How come she coordinated? How come he coordinated? It's like, to me, it's like, well, whoever was on the call sheet that can coordinate.
Yeah.
You take that contract, you know what I mean? And producers like it because I'm still there. I'm still supervising, but I'm directing. They're not getting my rate. They're getting whatever the sub rate is. Do you know what I mean? But it's better for everybody. I mean, I once, years ago, what show was it? Street Time. I got 4 paychecks in a single day because I could. I don't think that would fly now.
Well, it doesn't fly
Interesting.
with popularity.
No,
But
but
it
it's
does-
like
but
you
it-
have to
it's
pay
still-
those
it's a
other
thing.
3 people anyway, right? So
Yeah.
that's why in that case on Street Time producer didn't care because somebody would have to be the double, somebody would have to coordinate, somebody would have to be play the role. But
It depends on the
Yeah,
gig.
I have opinions
It
on all that
depends on the
stuff, but
gig.
yeah.
For sure.
Goes back and forth.
I mean, I was probably wrong because it was a stair fall, and I had dialogue, and I was directing.
That's actually quite funny if you think about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
I don't want to fall down these stairs. Boom, 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 boom.
Go back to the monitors.
Back to
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah, we need another. No, I don't want to. Yeah, it was funny. And then on Land of the Dead, I did a similar. It wasn't a stair fall, but it was in a stairwell, and I did a triple. And it's the last time I ever did that. It just doesn't feel right. It feels cool if you're younger, you're cocky. That was 20 years ago.
Right.
It's not necessary. I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
I'm coordinating and directing
Right.
the role that I'm playing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
The stunt coordinator, stunt person thing, like depending on the gag, but I have argued for I don't know how many years, decades, that when you're doing a car commercial, the decision is made by the man in the seat. So if you're doing a car commercial, you can coordinate and perform. And I think if I had 4 or 5 or 6 drivers, I wouldn't get in the car, but otherwise,
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
No, but what if you have to talk to a helicopter at the same time? Or a drone now?
Oh, yeah, but that's
You make
directing
those
now.
decisions ahead of time.
But that oh yeah.
Oh, directing. I see what you're saying.
Well, no, I'm thinking of an example. I can't remember who it was. He was coordinating, driving, and there was he wasn't directing, but there was a huge amount of coordination with a helicopter, camera and a helicopter. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't handle it all. And it was like, maybe you shouldn't be driving.
I agree.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's interesting.
As
Yeah,
long as
yeah.
that was the helicopter shot, like that's the focus.
Yeah.
I understand that.
It was a toughie. But yeah, it's a tough call because nobody may in that instance may not know it better than you do. It's much easier to not have to talk to anybody else because you're all 3 people in your head, and it's going to go smooth. But if it's something you got to keep your eye on,
Right. No, that makes sense.
if it's Blair having to hit a mark,
Yeah. Well, forget it. Right there.
you can't possibly perform at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
Sorry, buddy, you're just sitting there.
It's just easy shooting here.
It's just easy. low bar, and you're low.
but I mean, I understand that if you're there to coordinate a commercial, but then the driver of the new Honda or Toyota or something ends up going out with the Russian arm or the Ukraine all the way down Richmond Street and around over here and blah, 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 blah. And the coordinator's now just sitting at craft.
Yeah, doesn't even have a signal on the monitor.
Yeah.
That's
and
my point.
Exactly. And all of a sudden,
The decisions-
the director in the car and the follow vehicle's like, we need, you know what, instead of turning that left, we need you to take that right.
Yeah,
You
nobody's
can't
in
go,
charge.
well, ask my coordinator.
Yeah.
Oh, man, time is money.
Yeah.
Time is money, you know.
So it depends on the gig.
I think it does depend on a lot
It
of things. But
totally depends. But it's something I came from was doing my own stuff, and it was always cool. But now it's frowned upon.
well, you can't,
And I get it.
You know,
I mean, I've always said my whole career, safety should be 3rd or 4th.
which is funny because when you're young and you're doing shorts, you play like 5 roles.
Yeah.
You know, but you make $100 if you can help it. You probably don't. You probably spend $1,000 or $2.
Sure.
And then as you rise up the ranks, you start delegating that work, of course, and all this. But if you do take a double job, all of a sudden you're worried about the payments and the contracts and all that stuff. But if somebody wants to negotiate, you know, a 10 times rate or something because of what you're doing and who you are, that's okay. It's an odd thing.
Yeah.
It's a very finicky, weird gray line in there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
and it crosses unions and it crosses different agreements, and
Yeah.
I once took a directing fee, a weekly directing fee against a scale coordinator that had
Oh.
like 4 days of a slap in the face here. Like there was nothing to it. It was mostly shooting plates and biz stuff. And it was like if the word gets back to actor or the stunt community, Matt's working for scale. It was a deal I made, not less than scale. But it was, I don't think I would do that again, but it was for 3 or 4 days, and it's like between me and me. But now the rates are so off the hook and everybody's a coordinator. I don't know about you, but I can't compete.
I get
And there's ageism and there's old white guy and blah, blah, blah.
There's all kinds of
But
stuff.
it's like if you add scale now,
For those of you listening,
ageism.
old white guy.
Sorry.
a few of them here today.
Scale now, I think it's $1,600. And if
1,600.
it's
Is that what scale is? 12.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but with OT,
Your scale? No.
No, but with OT, isn't it close to like? What's the hourly? 20,
Well, a 12-hour day for sure.
12-hour day is like,
It's probably a $2,000 day.
yeah. So it's hard to like if you say, well, this is my rate. I'll go flat even. They're like, well, that's not much more than scale. I'm like,
Right.
so it's hard to compete.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, can we take it back to Comic-Con here?
No, I don't.
Sure.
We were
I want to talk about stunt coordinators.
Is that why he's here? No.
No.
It's for
Do you
every
mean
other thing.
Do you mean other stunt coordinators
Well,
or us?
well, yeah. Veterans can't do every show.
No.
And the more shows, the more watered down our coordinators are.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think that if you look at the statistics, there's more people getting hurt in the last 15 years than
Yeah, but
ever.
fortunately, we've got AI technology
Oh, that's right.
and all the other good stuff that'll keep us.
That'll keep us safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you're probably right about the level of hurt. I mean, we hear about somebody getting hurt. It was humongous. It was like once in a blue moon.
Exactly.
What happened?
So I think
Now
I
it's
was
like, oh yeah.
I was mistaken earlier when I mentioned that the director is the only entry-level position on a film or television series. It's probably also the stunt coordinator.
No, stunt coordinators too, for sure. If you know a stunt person, you can be a stunt coordinator.
Well, you know what it is that if you're in our union, by virtue of having that union card, which they don't give out
They
anymore,
don't give that anymore.
you can be a puppeteer,
Yep.
a voiceover artist,
Voiceover,
or a stunt coordinator.
dancer, background singer,
100%.
stunt coordinator.
Yeah,
For some reason, stunt people and stunt coordinators are
the same.
resented and frowned down by our membership's hierarchy. They're not liking us.
Yeah. Well, we've been making some
And I'm not
waves.
we're making waves, probably in a good way, but I'm not going to get into all that stuff.
No, neither am I. But
But
the,
I keep correcting people and going, it's not a union, it's a guild. It's a paternal organization.
yeah, it's
You know, and it's, well, we don't like you guys, or we think you're stupid, or you make too much money. It's like almost like they resent the fact that we the same rate as a principal performer.
right.
But the amount of cash that we bring to the
Yeah.
the
It's the
Crawford-
biggest pool.
the biggest pool
By
And,
far.
Yeah, so those puppeteers have a voice.
Of course.
Every election about anything, it's like 70% is being voted on by BG, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
the largest population. And for the most part, everything that they do is good and protects us and all that stuff. And the crookedness, I'm not close enough to it anymore to know enough about the crookedness or what's corrupt and what isn't, or what's being hidden and not hidden. But like this recent referendum about transparency
Right.
is now causing trickle down stuff that's just, we're getting friend. Oh, you're a stunt person. It's horrible. Anyway, and these awards. But anyway, go on. Stunt coordinators.
I don't have to worry about the awards. I'll never get one. Politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, stunt coordinators.
Well,
I just think that
a moment.
anyone who has an ability to speak well and has a personality will talk themselves into jobs that they should not be doing.
Now, when we had Steve Chase on, He talked about
Which time? The first time or the
the
second
first time. The first time.
The only time we've had anybody on for 2 times.
Oh,
Yeah, he's incredibly fascinating. But what he's talking about is he's won a gazillion awards. Every award you can imagine in the commercial business, he's won that plus a million more.
30 others.
Yeah, and he said that never has an award gotten him anything
Right.
ever. It didn't forward him except for maybe the Clio. I think he said because it allowed him to work from U.S. or Canada to U.S.
Sure.
something.
Well, he's like a Canadian Zack Snyder, right? He's
He
ubiquitous in that
Yeah.
world. And it is a completely different world.
If you haven't listened to the Steve Chase podcast,
I will.
It's really fun.
I will.
Both
The
of
guy's a
them.
great shooter.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really good.
Just some great stories.
I put the Clio in one of my shorts as a joke about a concept. Oh no, you gotta listen to this guy. He won the Clio. And it's like, and the client goes, oh.
That is fun.
The spot about a pumpkin. It was something about a pumpkin. Yeah. Getting Past the Bull. It's a great short. You should watch it.
Getting past the bull.
Getting Past the Bull. It's on YouTube, but it's got horrible quality. But it's the first thing I ever wrote and shot, written and directed by.
Oh, wicked.
Love it.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah, by the same token, people should watch Sunny Nights, the best there's never been on
Sunny
YouTube,
Nights,
damn
the
it.
best there's never been. If you can get him to come out of his apartment.
That's right. That's right.
Now, is the Paul Rutledge? Because there's no excuse for that.
I believe it is.
No.
Who is it?
It is not.
It's not Paul Rutledge.
No.
Well, Paul was supposed to be here, I think, wasn't he?
No.
No,
Okay.
we don't want to talk
Shout out to Paul, but
about horses for 2 hours.
yeah, totally.
Rut Butt, we love you. Don't call me Rut Butt.
Right, but
Rut Butt actually doubled Jared Leto on Urban Legend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He lives in Northwest Territories right now? Or
wow.
Yukon or somewhere?
I don't know if he still does. I haven't seen him since Kingston.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard his name since he said he was moving away. And
He had a fire or something.
Blair?
But that was here.
Yes,
Yeah.
he had a fire here. He did move to the Yukon because that's where Tess is from.
Oh, right on.
Okay, so he's gone. He's in
Yeah.
Yukon.
But that thing,
Okay.
that Kingstown thing, I saw people I hadn't seen in 2 times.
I know, eh?
Like,
We walk into that gym where all the stunt people are, and you go, hey.
Yeah.
I know you. I've never had that many stunt people. I mean, there was a perfect example. You were coordinating yourself and your record setting, whatever, and I was in the shot, but I couldn't watch because I was dead on the ground.
Well, what's funny?
yeah.
What's funny?
The shot started with him punching me out, and I was like,
What's
take the big headshot, and then I'm doing this on the
Really?
ground. I'm going like this.
yeah, but
I want to watch.
what's funny about that particular scene is that I'm going to beat Matt. I'm going to punch him out, knock him out.
Oh, my
So
God.
I turned to Steven, who's our director, who's right there with the camera, and I'm showing him what I'm going to do, and he goes like this. He says, "Yeah, that's perfect, right? That's awesome." Action. And as I go to throw it, they move the camera over here,
Oh, there won't be a cell.
so it didn't sell. And I looked up and we went, "Complete miss."
That's no good.
Why did you move the camera? Anyway, it was quite funny.
That's hilarious.
But here's Matt dead on the floor, knocked out, and I go get shot.
Wow.
And I was like,
What a drag.
trying to watch the squibs. Plus, he was behind, like in its glass.
In that little thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you do this drowning thing on the edge of the water, the
Yeah.
lake, are you gonna be the same way like this?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna pad up for sure.
Yeah. You should.
Anyone listening on Spotify has no idea what.
What is?
We're making
think you guys-
we're making
We're
faces.
screwing up our faces. So there's a dummy of me with that face. It made the rounds in Toronto for 20 years. But you ever seen it on a set? And I'm like this because I got hit by a limo. Cotton Mather hits me with a car, and I end up under the car, and I get smunched. Like my face gets smunched, and there's a shot that was never in the movie. And that's why they built the dummy. I did a life cast and the whole thing, and I had to do this in the life cast.
He's making you a face, ladies
This
and gentlemen.
insane director that wanted a specific expression on
What was the movie?
Blessed Child.
Blessed Child.
Which almost has like a Popeye.
The
look.
cop stops Kim Basinger and gets hit by a limo, bad guy limo. Cotton Mather, shout out, did some incredible driving in that thing. But he also hit the brakes when he hit me on one take, and I landed on the cameraman. But that dummy got purchased by a prop person and made the rounds.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, it's rental.
Yeah, like people would call me and be like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, we're just sitting around. Got a bunch of guys here. We're kicking you in the head."
Do you get residuals? Should.
No.
What the fuck?
Now, speaking of driving,
It's like the AI of yesterday.
speaking of driving and almost getting hit, I remember. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was on something about aliens. Oh my God.
We're too old to remember.
Yeah, this TV series.
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds, I think.
Shoot.
And we were in an alleyway, and I was running full tilt as fast as I could run. And there's all this garbage, and there's a car at the end of the alleyway.
Oh boy.
You're chasing me in a vehicle.
Am I in a car?
You're on my ass. Like you're literally 3 feet behind me. When I had to jump up onto the bumper, onto the hood, and then leap over the car, and you skirt around the car. Mm-hmm. I went from the bumper to the hood with slippery shoes.
To the windshield.
To the windshield. I skated across, up the windshield like a ramp, and I went in the air and I went, oh, fuck. Because I know Matt's right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I just hugged myself. I said, stick it to your back. And I landed beside the car with my arms like this. I said, just stick it. And Matt went
Whoa.
within inches past my head.
Right on.
Fully planned. We rehearsed it for weeks.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
It looked
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
Wow. Good memory.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got some great War of the Worlds memories. Rick Parker got his plugs on War of the Worlds.
Whoops.
Yeah. He loves that story. So we were the two lead doubles,
Jesus Christ.
and I have to tackling him into a bookshelf of stuff, and we go down, and it comes down over us and all that stuff, and it's like we're hugging each other, and we're set. We're just gonna go together and hit this thing, and I'm grabbing him, and I don't know. I'm not observant about this sort of thing. Roll camera, slate, do everything, ready, and I hear, "Watch the plugs."
What?
It's him saying,
Oh, for real?
because his plugs were new.
Oh, my God.
Watch the plugs.
Yeah.
Or Ken Quinn, we jumped off a cliff together once. And again, roll A, roll B, roll C, 60, 70 footer into water up in North Bay. And all he says is, "Oh, my contacts. Are you wearing your contacts? I've got my contacts in." It's like, it was like they would make great commercials. What do stunt guys talk about?
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty astounding.
So where are we going from here? Are we going to shoot Road of the Dead?
It's not called that anymore.
Oh, it isn't.
No, I'm kind of wary of saying it, but I will say it. It's protected. It's called Dead Fast,
Dead Fast.
which is much cooler. Road of the Dead changed its name with George's passing because I promised him we couldn't make an Of the Dead without him.
Right. Just for everyone listening, George who?
Romero. He of the zombie icon, American filmmaker.
Yeah.
That I had a close relationship with. We did 3 zombie movies that you all probably worked on. Maybe not Andrew.
Except for me.
Not in any of them?
Not that I'm aware of, no. I can't remember. No.
Oh, that's because you were home with my... No, kidding.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Don't tell Rhonda we made this joke. Anyway, we were planning on... I had pitched something to him during a reshoot for Land of the Dead, which was about... it was really about the Bush White House, but the zombies, like in keeping with his Day of the Dead, and a particular zombie named Bub, who was almost speaking and saluting and doing stuff very human. He carried that through to Land of the Dead, where they were learning to use weapons. They were following a leader. They were organized. They were killing people using saws and swords and guns. And at the end of the movie, the heroes take off in their truck, and Big Daddy, which is a semblance of Bub, the lead zombie, growls after them. And I thought, what's the next logical thing they're going to remember how to do? Is, for those not watching, I'm doing a steering wheel. They would drive. They'd follow the truck because they've been following him for the whole movie. So I pitched that to George's partner, and they thought, it's hysterical. Great idea. Write it. And I was like, no. The idea is you guys write it. It's just an idea. And we could never figure out why are they driving. Like the weapons made sense, and that was in 2005, and I think in 2012 we finally said, I got it. So George and I both loved Brando and Apocalypse Now and all Brando movies. So we talked a lot about how Day of the Dead, which is military and underground, and the similarities to Apocalypse, and this Colonel Kurtz type character that sort of loses his mind and goes upriver, and maybe he lives in the last safe place on Earth, and he takes people with him, and it's Colonel Kurtz. It's like Heart of Darkness meets Apocalypse, or Heart of Darkness meets Thunderdome, something like that. We couldn't figure it out. And I dropped it, and on Survival of the Dead, on a ferry, there's, cars are parked bumper to bumper on a ferry, so we put a zombie in one of those cars that Steve Lisescu played.
And you shot this in
We shot it in Port Dover. And we had Steve RD, so the car's going, and they're like, what the fuck is this zombie doing? And they shot him in the head. End of zombie. But it was the idea that they still, the learned memory was, he was trying to get out of the
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And it was all about PRND, and the car almost hits one of the hero kids, and the kid jumps up on the thing. And George and Peter, his partner, were like, well, that's, so there, we gave you your driving zombie, and that's the end of that.
Zombie evolution.
End of story. And it was 2008, I guess. And then we were libating in Mexico once.
Sounds nice.
Having a
Coffee.
cigar. And George was like, are you still on about that? And I was like, I'm telling you, there's a movie there. We got to figure it out. And I was in love with Puerto Rico. And I was in love with a military idea. And I'd already made 3 movies in Puerto Rico. And George had scouted Puerto Rico for another movie. It was either for Survival or Diary. I can't remember which. And he said, there's a track. Find this track. That's all he said. So I went to Puerto Rico looking for a track. I found the track. And the story just sort of came. And I spent 9 days in a Hilton in Ponce, which is on the south side of the island. And the track is an old road course with a drag strip with it stands for 5,000 people attached to a water park with a hotel. And all this. The thing just wrote itself. It was like, this is where it happens. And I just blitzed 80 pages in 9 days during the London Olympics. I'll never forget it. With a giant bottle of rum. For some reason, I bought rum, and I'm not a rum guy.
Wow, it's because
In
you're
Puerto
on the
Rico.
island. Yeah.
And yeah, it was Don Julio, the tequila maker, but it was rum. But yeah,
Cool.
and I banged out about 80 pages. It wasn't enough. It had a great beginning, and
Yeah, that's good.
and a whole bunch of car stuff, and everything took place on the track. And there was just this fakakta crazy 80 pages that he didn't like at all. And the idea was, this is my thing. I'm going to make this movie. I'm going to direct this movie, and it's going to be a George Romero Presents. So he will be the executive producer. He didn't care about writing or writing credit. He didn't want any part of that. He just wanted to help me get it made. And so if we put his name on it, then I could get it financed. And we did a little letter of intent that was executive producer, script approval, et cetera, and George A. Romero Presents. Those were the 3 points. Done, end of story. And then he's like, but I don't like what you did. He didn't like my style. He didn't like my narrative style and the way I describe stuff, because I come from television more than anything. So when I'd say, Andrew turns and clocks Randy across the room, he'd be like, what's clocks?
Ah,
Oh,
And I'd be like,
interesting.
he just wants you to
He
say
didn't-
punches.
can you just say that he sees him? Because he didn't like it. And it's like, he
okay.
liked the idea of the story, because we had gotten this idea of Apocalypse meets Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Bad guy, 2 old friends pitted against each other, without the Jesus part.
Yeah.
And and then that was the end of that. It was
Those of us
saying,
that understand the Ben-Hur.
the Ben-Hur. Yeah, because Ben-Hur's actual title is The Story of the Christ. There's all sorts of Jesus stuff. Anyway, I dropped it. It was enough creative juice, whatever, so now we've got a handle on it. And
But there's an interesting thing happening here is that as a writer, there is a difference between he sees Andrew across the room and he clocks Andrew across the room.
Yeah, there's definitely a narrative. Something's at stake with clocks.
Yeah, but there's a difference in the intent of the actor that's clocking.
There's that. It could also just be the timbre, the mood of the moment,
Right.
or the story. But anyway, I had a bunch of that peppered throughout the script, and he was like, "Why don't you just?" Because he's way more old school than I was.
Right.
He's a real writer, and I'm not. And the one thing George never got credit for is that he was a phenomenal fucking writer. Not that he didn't get credit for being a great director, but he was really a strong writer. And his ethic was incredible. He'd get an idea and he'd go, and in 3 days there'd be a screenplay. For me, it'd be 3 years.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell you another story about that in Mexico, with another a show that he did with Stephen King, Tales from the Crypt, that was going to possibly be resurrected, and it was all over town, is the expression in LA. Everybody had the project and everybody passed on it. And the guy that is an old producing partner of George is like, can you guys whip up 25 quick scenarios? These are 7-minute mini movies that would make up each episode. So I don't know, 5, 6, 7 of them per hour. That would make up an episode of the new thing. And we were in a restaurant in Cabo San Lucas, and back to the hotel we went, and it was all right, I'll come. We have our customary cigar and a scotch on the balcony, nightcap, and we came up with one together, and then it was okay, so you go and I'll go, and we'll see what we get tomorrow. So I was all turned on, and I came up with 4 really cool little stories. And he came up with 24.
oh my god.
And I was well, some of these are old ideas, some of them are these, and I was
Were they good?
I
Were they worth
I
it?
thought mine were all worthy of being feature films. It's not about good or bad. But anyway, that's the type of writer he was and the type of ethic he had. But anyway, he didn't like
Incredible.
that draft, and it was if I still wanted to make the movie and I wanted to have his name on it, I needed to take his notes and do it for him. So I did a second draft in India, of all places, traveling again. It's I can't write at home. I have to be at least in a Starbucks like almost everybody else.
Yeah.
And I did a second draft that was better, in his words, but not quite there. And it was the third draft where he said, okay, I'll put my name on this. And he had a stab at he wanted better jokes. So he did write a couple of great, remember this whole thing was Puerto Rico.
This is still a zombie movie, right?
Yeah.
He wanted better jokes.
Yeah, because we wanted
Okay.
it to be funny. And the whole idea, originally, even in 2011, when we first talked about, this first draft that I'm going to go to Puerto Rico and write, we thought it should be cheesy and back to what Dawn of the Dead was, the original Dawn. And it was so bad it's good. Just cheesy, corny, the pie scene in Dawn, and I was that's easy and it's funny. So I came up with the word zombie.
A zombie.
And I went to AFM with a postcard that said a zombie in body parts. And I'd already
It's
come up
actually
with,
really good.
yeah, and
That's
it
really
got a lot of notice, and it got a lot of mention, and everybody, they love his name, and it's oh, a zombie. Oh, Romero. But it's immediately construed as a Romero project. And who am I? I'm just a stunt guy.
Right.
His second unit director, whatever.
Come
But
back to
unfortunately,
that,
that year at AFM, George is estranged from a son who's apparently a madman who was running around the hotel with a Romero project. And so every time I gave the card to somebody, they go, "Oh, I just saw the kid. He's." I'm like, "No, it's not that. It's not that." So nothing got generated out of that.
Aw.
It was tough, but it was a really cool card with a zombie. You don't see that the zombie's driving, but you see the zombie in the mirror. You see the face.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the mirror.
In the review.
Yeah, just to hint that they drive. I just didn't want, it's out now, so I can say it. But back then, it was don't tell anybody, but they drive. So the pitch for the film was literally 2 words: they drive. Oh, it's a zombie movie? Tell me, give me your pitch. They drive. Oh, cool. And that was sort of the end of it. Nobody cared what the story was. But anyway, he did a dialogue joke pass, and then let me put his name on it. It's George Romero Presents. And then
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Very-
But I said, when he got diagnosed and things were looking shit, I said, we got to change the title. I'm not making Of the Dead without him there. He is of the dead. So I changed it to Wolf Island, based on the island off Kingston. And now it's called Dead Fast. It's been...
And why Dead
it's
Fast?
a totally
What
different
happened
movie.
there?
It's not Puerto Rico, so all of his jokes are out because they were Latino jokes.
Right.
We wrote the bad guy for, or I wrote it for his buddy. I'm in a blank. Danny Trejo,
Oh,
who's now. It would be great if I moved it back to Puerto Rico and
Yeah.
he played the
Right.
part. But now you got a bad guy that's 82 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
sells tacos.
Fuck.
He would have been perfect. But anyway, I changed everything.
Damn.
What's that mean?
Well, that means he's got to pee.
Oh, I thought
God, pee break.
more. I thought you wanted another coffee.
Yeah, I was hoping that you'd bring back some more coffee when you come back. I have a not a zombie movie, but it's like a people movie, a human movie. My idea is that it's
Do they
been
bite each other?
well, that's the Florida movie.
Not a zombie movie, but a people movie.
Yeah, it's a people movie.
What
So
was the Florida thing?
Thousand-
The face eating, the drug they were doing.
Yeah.
They were eating people's.
it's
There's a
called the
movie.
alligator drug.
Why didn't Danny
I don't-
Boyle make that movie?
Yeah, mine's thousand years zombies have taken over the world, and they're just wandering aimlessly until one falls over and trips on something and accidentally eats the cure,
Right.
and then he becomes a
Becomes a
human
human.
again, and it's like a human infestation.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
A reverse zombie movie. Yeah. Well, that was my original concept. Was off the coast of Puerto Rico is Vieques and Culebra, two islands, and Vieques had a military installation on it. It's got all this unexploded stuff apparently on it, and it's like a nuclear wasteland, and
jeez.
it's terrible. And I was like, well, what if a scientist had a serum, and he could inject himself, so
Okay.
to become undetectable to the zombies. So he sort of parachute himself into the colony after taking a shot. He would research and work on antivenoms and all this stuff with the zombies, and then when he came out, because they weren't interested in eating him because he he appeared to be
Yeah,
a zombie
right,
to them.
right, okay.
He appears undead, and then he'd anti-venom, whatever the hell it was, and become a human scientist again. And it was like way too complicated, and it was just bone
It's good,
stupid. It
though.
was just bone stupid. But this is a great idea. I want to hear more about it.
Well, that's about all
He
I got.
becomes the only human.
I had a great joke where it's like it shows it's just like the top of the movie, and it says like on the screen it just says 1,000 years kind of thing, like since human life or whatever, and then you see the zombie trip.
Until
He eats like a watermelon or a flower or some shit. He gets up as a human, and then all the zombies attack him, and then it says like another 10,000 years later, and it happens again.
oh my god.
Yeah, I just had something stupid like that, but
So, but you got to work on the pitch. Can't be I have a zombie movie, but it's human. the pitch needs to be. Oh, I just had it and I lost it.
I'll give it
We'll
to
get
me.
there. We'll get there.
Because I couldn't find a story.
No, but
It's
maybe
just,
this is
you know.
the sex. So the guy that wants to produce Dead Fast wants 3 movies.
Okay.
And my joke is they've learned to drive, and at the end of my movie, there's a sight gag on the next thing they're going to remember how to do, and it's up there.
Oh.
And I don't know, after that would be, I guess, space.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott made that movie.
You're getting crazy,
Yeah.
there, man. Holy fuck.
You know, it's like you can't. But Skies of the Dead and then Space of the Dead, but it's like that movie's
Space of the Dead.
that movie's been done now. It's just with a fucking alien and not a zombie.
Yeah.
Although, if you knew there were hundreds of them on your ship, now nobody really can hear you scream. I don't know. I don't know if it would be scary, but you see how they just get funnier and funnier. Can you imagine the comedy in zombies flying helicopters?
Oh man, 100%.
The
Now,
last-
when you working so closely with Romero, do you get into like zombie theory
No.
and understanding more about what they've done and do? And
No, we weren't interested in any of that. In fact, the private working title of Survival of the Dead, which was going to be the last one, was Enough of the Dead.
Ah, interesting.
They decided to go with Survival. It was a Western, and Duel of the Dead made the most sense because it was a D in dawn and day and all that stuff, but they didn't go with Duel of the Dead. But he had it. He had a lot of other shit he wanted to work on. And I was happy that he wanted to me, to help him with it. My zombie movie was really like my thing, and what can I do to help? And then no more fucking zombies. So the script that he had already adapted in the late 80s, early 90s that then I started working on with him is absolutely the furthest thing from a zombie movie that I still want to make.
Okay.
But no, that lore stuff, the rules, the LORE, not LUR.
Yeah.
It did completely not did not interest him. And you can read
Really?
hours and hours and hours of threads of people talking about a machete versus a baseball bat, and a gun runs out of ammo, and what are the rules? And he was like, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, whatever.
And
That's interesting. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't like fast zombies, so he
the World War Z style.
He dug the Dawn remake for what it was from a filmmaking standpoint. I interviewed for Land of the Dead one day after wrapping Dawn of the Dead, so I was like, I'm not a fan of the genre. It's like he loved my honesty. I was like, I fucking know who you are, but I've never, I watched Night of the Living Dead really quickly before the interview. I didn't know anything about it, but I did Dawn with Junior, right? I was the main unit coordinator, and so every night I would perform on second unit, and then I'd sleep for 3 hours, and then I'd babysit main unit.
I was Jay Leno.
You were Jay Leno.
And the poster.
And the poster. And neither one of us knows where Junior is now. But anyway, I said to him, I just worked on a remake of, he's like, that's okay, I don't care. Just, why are they fast? He couldn't stand that they were fast.
Because
The thing about my movie is I found a way to make slow zombies fast.
Driving. Interesting.
Yeah.
interesting, yeah.
So anyway, Dead Fast is the intent is that Dead Fast is some kind of a franchise with a video game. And I understand that you're a
I think that's sweet.
Grand Theft Auto guy.
Wow, you must have seen Sean watch the podcast.
This will be an RPG shooter
Okay.
in that style, because you could either be a zombie, a human.
Is this a real thing potentially?
It's a copyrighted pitch
Oh my God.
sitting on my desk. Yeah, so I've taken the characters from the film and I've added a couple of new characters. And
Sounds fantastic
you
to me.
need to. It's got a sort of a, what's the Mel Gibson? It's got a Mad Max Road Warrior feel to it,
Okay.
where Armageddon basically. Right?
See,
But is there a story
Yeah.
unlike Mad Max?
I'll tell him you said that.
Well, let's drive into the desert and turn around and come back.
Yeah, with a bunch of stunt guys. And
but
we
when
can-
all the gasoline and fuel and all this stuff is just gone
when
away.
it's gone, what happens?
Yeah.
There's no more stunts.
So Romero would just say, "Yeah,
No,
it's still there.
everything's
Don't worry
electric.
Oh, so in
Yeah.
my movie, there's a stock pull. There's still fuel. It's not that long after Land of the Dead, so there's still.
Okay, so it's time.
It's not 100 years in the future.
Right.
It's chronological. The original pitch was that the truck from land, but in the opening, it bumps off a ferry onto an island. But I couldn't do that because the truck is basically Universal's property. So the truck's going to be in my movie, which is one of the 65 Easter eggs, and it's just going to be back there behind a bush, just the front of it,
Oh,
because
that's
it's owned by
fun.
Brock Jolliffe.
Okay, so now
Really?
Yeah, so Brock, for years and years and years, I've said, do not throw that fucking thing out. I will get this movie made.
Oh,
So
wow.
just the cab is left, like just the truck is left. Yeah, that was Jeff Scotchko built this truck, but it was Brock's show, and they didn't exactly like each other.
Right. Yeah, I understand.
And the irony is that Brock ended up with the truck.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Cuckoo.
So okay, so
So we'll
you
see
were
if that
talking
gets
about
made. Now I just can't stop thinking about a population of zombies with a single human.
oh, yeah.
We had another idea.
Yeah, if you got anything on it, just
The one I really want to
Put it
make.
down.
There was legal bullshit with this idea, but so I probably shouldn't go into it. But the idea was Roadrunner and Coyote. So it's a zombie thing, but it was called Zombisodes. instead of episodes.
Okay.
There's one zombie and one human left on Earth. Whoa. And she drives a sports car and has like ammunition belts around her, and she's wearing very little, and he is just a decrepit mess of a zombie. And she doesn't shoot him in the head and kill him because without him there's nothing for her to do.
Oh.
So it's a series of Roadrunner Coyote bits.
Yeah, like little
with just
vignette
these two.
style.
Yeah, which we could start tomorrow.
Yeah, we
Like,
should do that.
We just cast it and start shooting it, and it's pitchable and saleable as like 19 different products. But if you look at some of the gags of what happens to the coyote, it's like we could do this in real life. There's a way to do like the bridge stuff with bungees and descenders.
It's actually a super fun idea.
She's in a convertible Corvette or Camaro, like ultra hot car.
Mm-hmm.
And he's jumping off bridges trying to get to her. And like, anyway, so she, I hope I'm not giving this away because this I don't have a copyright on. There was a legal thing, but
Don't anybody make this.
don't anybody.
Yeah, we've got thousands and thousands.
We're gonna make
thousands
this.
of dollars.
She picks off, a finger and an arm and a leg here and there as the episodes progress, but she can't shoot him in the head because it wouldn't be any fun after that. So he slowly becomes like crawling mess of slime, but he's still going. He's still trying to get to her. It's a great
I think that's cool. That sounds fun as hell. It's a
the-
YouTube thing.
in the mind of Romero. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll ever make it because there'd be too much legal crap. But I loved it. It's a great idea.
So Urban Legends brought you to Comic-Con, but what about this stuff?
They're different worlds. I've learned. What Alex and I are doing is slasher.
Oh,
It's zombies.
right.
So zombie people. So the slasher people don't give a crap about my 6 zombie movies, or any of my zombie movies.
Who
And
doesn't?
The slasher people,
crowd.
like the slasher
really?
fans,
The fans.
Oh, wow. Okay.
different
Yeah.
genre,
And then you have comic, which is the other, completely separate from the other two.
Yeah, yeah.
like
yeah.
superhero stuff.
Superhero stuff. So Randy was Darkman is another genre. So Darkman won't fly at a slasher con or a zombie con. I couldn't make it to they had a zombie con in Pittsburgh at the Monroeville Mall where George made Dawn of the Dead. So it was a biggie because they're knocking the mall down.
Okay.
It's going to be a Walmart or something. But yeah, they're different worlds.
Okay.
And I recently played another masked killer. And I told my manager, when it comes out, is it going to be viable? Is there enough fans? Is it something we can pitch me as the killer from? And he's like, oh, yes. So it'll be cool. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man.
It's not like you can retire.
Yeah, but it's pretty fucking cool.
He's taking my picture. You don't have a case on your phone.
Yeah, he's nuts. Well, he has this.
I do love the way a phone feels without a case.
I do.
It's
I do.
way better. Yeah.
I've always used OtterBoxes, but they keep snapping off.
Yeah, they're
on
also
the
like
little clip.
they keep fucking up, and they're the most expensive.
Yeah. So I just kind of bought this and.
You know,
said,
it's
"Screw it."
super. You know,
All
it's
you're
super cool.
missing, all you're missing there is in the props department. We need your keys on a beaner and a pager.
Right.
And then it's like, are you a janitor? No, I'm a stuntman.
Remember living by pagers?
Oh my God! Yeah.
I remember that. I remember calling the 1-800 number when I was a kid, and because my mom wanted to give my dad a message, and then the lady would come on and say, "What's your message?" And I'd say, "Get milk."
That's how the paging systems work in LA still for stunt guys.
Really?
Yeah, remember Teddy's and Joni's, but you could
Oh yeah, Teddy's and
you
Joni's. I
could
know those.
book through them too.
Yeah.
I was doing some.
But they don't still run those.
No, I don't think they're.
Oh my God.
anymore. But boy, was it ever handy because I was doing this Jet Li thing with Gary Himes, and we had 20 guys climbing as at the end of the movie. They're inmates on this weird planet, and Jet Li's beating them up, and they could see that we had a couple of wire gags and a bunch of people falling down, and they were recycling themselves off camera. Oh God, I thought I was going to break something. And we did this big day of rehearsal with the cameras on a gantry pulling back. It's this huge long minute long. And they're like, we can see that the guys are recycling. You got to get more guys. And they all had to be like over 6 feet, 200. Like they wanted muscle, big, beefy prisoner guys, like
Yeah.
jets this big. And I was like, okay, I'm in weird territory because I'm in LA. And it's like, I do know a bunch of guys, but I can't, like, how many, what do you think? Eight more guys? 10 more guys? I'm like, get 40 more guys. 40 for tomorrow's rehearsal. And, Gary's like, yeah, take care of that. And I'm like, called Teddy's, 6 feet to 6'3", 200 to 220, white, black, yellow, red. 40 of them.
Wow.
It was done in an hour.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And I made some friends that I'm still
Welcome
friends
to
with now.
LA.
They're like, who the fuck is Matt Birman? He's working for Gary Himes. Okay, I'm there.
You couldn't do that in Toronto.
Not right now. You'd have to phone 40 people.
I did it this winter for the Jonas Brothers thing with Tom. Instead of Teddy's, he called Jamie Jones. And you say, I need 40 SSEs.
And he calls his family.
SSEs are special skill extras.
Thank you for catching on.
No, they're not his family, but Jamie is the SSE god. It
Really?
used to be Jean Fournette.
Oh.
Well, maybe it still is.
Interesting.
Huh.
I don't know where they get them, but they've got brains. They're good. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
they did a great job. So I have Nicole Fournier.
Yeah.
She got me 20 BG to be the 20 SSE's passengers
Oh really?
because we were in England. And there was
Okay.
talk of dummies, putting dummies in every car because the guys that are not driving are on the wrong side of the car. So the idea was that every car needs to have a passenger because that's who's actually driving because we're in England.
Oh.
So I just solved
Whoa.
it by hiring 20 more SSEs and put them in the passenger seat. Had them all go like this a little bit. And the 20 SSEs for real were really driving the cars.
Oh, that's
The
crazy.
Stunt guys that you two guys were not part of, nor Blair, were driving actual right-hand drive cars.
Well, I just find it fascinating how often this happens.
It's the same job.
Then talked about
I'll tell you, if I get another job, you guys are doing every day.
how stunty was a Jonas Brothers movie.
It was really stunty for Dana Jones. 'Cause she
Okay.
was the lead car weaving, and they were all pylons. The movie, on its own, was not stunty at all.
Yeah. Okay.
There were about 400 stunt days, but no, you guys didn't do any of them. No, I'm kidding.
Did you know the Jonas Brothers?
There were like 14 stunt days.
Did you know them when you saw them?
A little bit. I mean, I'm not a Jonas Brothers guy.
I did a.
Took me a few days to. Nick is easy.
Yeah.
The other two, I needed some time.
I did a film with the.
Did you do the first one?
No, with the Backstreet Boys,
Oh,
and we were playing baseball in a park, and the entire park was surrounded by cops. So I was standing there with all these young guys standing there, and I said, "Can you believe this? All these cops for this friggin' band? Who the fuck are they? Like, I can't believe this."
yeah, you
And
didn't know.
it was them I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't know that he was standing between two of them.
No, so I knew they were huge and who they are and all that stuff, but it's not my thing. I knew Nick's wife from the show, the Quantico or
Right.
FBI, whatever. And I had a hard time getting the other two straight. But once I did, they do have three very distinctly different personalities.
Right. Who's that other guy I worked with that I didn't know?
DMX.
Huh?
Not
Oh,
DMX.
no, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But from the Who?
Oh, Robert Daltrey,
Yeah,
the singer of the
Roger Daltrey.
Roger Daltrey. Did I say Robert?
This
Yeah,
from
that was weird.
this from Sunny Nights.
Sorry, Robert. I mean Roger.
Sorry. I'm sure Robert Daltrey's a sweet old man. Whoever he is.
Is his father. It's Roger's dad.
Did
Yeah,
you
I
see
had-
Rod Stewart on Instagram a couple of weeks ago trying to sing live? I'm just thinking of old English guys now.
Oh, that's
It was
funny.
bad. It was like, hey, Rod, stop playing live
Oh
now.
man.
Yeah.
I think maybe 80, it's 80, whatever is the cutoff. McCartney's coming to Hamilton. Was it you that told me that?
No?
You
Does
know
he?
about
Does he
that?
know?
Jesus Christ. That's fucking hilarious.
You know.
As we all get older.
Andrew, you may have there might be a writer's room with a spot for you. Does he know?
Thank you, sir. I'll take it.
That's like Jack Kenny humor. On Warehouse once in a production meeting, I don't know, 2013, the episode had a Nazi reference to a Nazi artifact in the warehouse. And Jack told this completely inappropriate Nazi joke to a room full of Jews. And there's this complete, like, hush, just for 2 seconds, but with perfect timing, he goes, "Too soon."
Oh, no.
So good.
60 years. And being a bad Jew, I was laughing at it. Like,
But being, you know,
but I mean, would you pay ready money, as they say in England, to see Paul McCartney in Hamilton? I don't have to see that.
yeah, no, neither do I.
You know, I grew
I
up
mean,
as
I love them. I love him. I love the music. But
Yeah.
like Nisha said the other day, she goes, "Why? Because he sucks." And I was like, "Does he suck because he's older? Because you just don't like his music?" And she's like, "He sucked." She's like, "It's all Lennon. It was all Lennon." I'm like, "We're not talking about the Beatles. That's harsh."
Yeah.
The guy is a great, and the whole conversation started because I am turning that age in a couple of weeks. He wrote When I'm 64 when he was 14 years old. McCartney did,
oh wow.
to a girl, 14. So the song takes on even more relevance, right?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
But instead, now we have like, well, his music sucks, and countless thousands of 64-year-olds around the world are playing the music on their birthdays.
Right. So Rhonda and I were watching The Voice recently, and we don't watch The Voice. We watch The Voice, maybe some clips on YouTube.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
there was a huge thing about, like, almost an hour long with Tom Jones.
Oh,
And Tom Jones was just turning 80 on that show.
which is not unusual.
You should. Oh
He
my
did it.
God. That's,
Speaking of writer's room.
I'm not even going to tell my story
No, yeah, go
because that
on.
was brilliant.
Go on.
But Tom Jones at 80, you should hear this man sing.
Kill.
Yeah, he's
Like
still
he
got
hasn't,
it.
nothing's changed.
Is he pitched
Wow.
differently though?
Oh no, B flat, and he's
pitched down though. Yeah.
but he's amazing.
well,
He's
has one
you're
of the
probably
great-
right. He's probably down on a key or something.
One of the great voices though.
Yeah,
I mean, and he wasn't on our radar until he hit, but he was over there. What a showman.
he grew up on the same street that my my lady's grandmother.
Yeah, I
Lived
think
on
it was
it.
like right next door. Or something.
Yeah,
I've been a guitar player and a musician for a long, long time, and I've made a great effort to see the guys that I love were not necessarily from my time,
Right.
like Van Halen or even Foreigner and REO Speedwagon and Styx and shit like this. And
I'm with you on some of that.
yeah,
But it is important for your age because, like, my son Jack loves the Beatles and is a Beatles sort of scholar.
yeah, he's a young guy.
He's way too young for them.
Yeah.
But he's got red, blue, all the albums, etc. But go on because it's important what you're saying.
Well, you know, some of these guys are still absolutely killing it.
Capable.
Yeah. But then there's just some guys that aren't. You know, I have two stepdaughters. They're beautiful, and they got my youngest has an unbelievable taste in music. She listens to things, and I'm listening through the floor, going, "What the fuck? I can't believe this is from the '70s. This is beautiful." But she loves the Beatles and stuff like that.
Well, stuff's getting rediscovered all the time.
and it's timeless.
It is,
And
the
having
timeless stuff.
having
is-
a comeuppance, and it's like, what? That's from 1982, and it's like, well, the kids are loving it.
well, they entertain the idea of going to see Billy Joel.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just sort of went, you want me to pay $250 to sit in the nosebleeds of a Billy Joel concert? I'm telling you, sweetheart, this ain't going to sound like what you're listening to in
the
your
album.
bedroom.
Today,
On the album.
correct.
Yeah.
But if she's digging and loving his writing, it
Totally.
may not
There's a
matter, 'cause
difference.
He's a classic example of a songwriter.
I hope
It
that's
wasn't the
what they
greatest
get out of
singer.
it. I hope that's what they get out of it.
Bruce Cockburn, songwriter, not the greatest singer. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
there's tons of them.
I know.
And if that's what they're getting out of it, because like I'm a Chili Peppers fan.
Sure.
Jack loves the Peppers, but musicianship's off the charts.
Yeah.
Anthony Kiedis, not exactly Tom Jones,
No.
but he loves the writing. And I'm like, okay, even though it's a heroin-based writing,
That's true.
Go, son.
he's loving it. So, yeah, no, it's great that they can discover stuff like that. But
Yeah.
back to McCartney and Hamilton, it's like, it's not enough. I once, as a 9-year-old, I cried myself to sleep because the rumor was that he was dead. And
Right.
in New York in 1971, Paul McCartney.
That's right.
My fears were I was going to be drafted. I was deathly afraid of going to Vietnam.
Okay.
Like, I was just perfectly of an age, right? And Paul McCartney's dead. And it's because, was it John Lennon or McCartney that's barefoot on the Abbey Road album?
Oh, it's McCartney.
Yeah, so it meant that he's died and they just haven't told us. And my mother was like, I was inconsolable for like a week because I was such a freak for the Beatles. I was 9 years old. And then, to hear my wife say, well, he sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, he might be 80 whatever and he can't sing anymore. And he's playing Hamilton, but he does not suck.
But she hit her pissing you off today quota.
It's not so much pissing me off. I was just like, is this your, it might be an ignorance quota.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, I'm not a Van Halen fan, but I certainly respect and know what the guy's capable, all of it.
Totally.
Who just died? Ozzy. I mean,
Yeah.
last band I'll listen to.
Chuck Mangione just.
Chuck Mangione. So I start humming the trumpet. Of course, she doesn't know that because she's only 50.
I have
I don't know who this is.
several.
Oh, that. Yep.
He plays a. He plays a. Flugelhorn.
You brought that up way too soon.
No, because it's on my phone. I have his albums on my phone because I listen. I'm a former trumpet
Well, I
player.
gotta say,
I love this man.
for our listeners, I do not have Chuck Mangione.
Thank you.
Anyway, I know what Black Sabbath is. I know what the music is. It ain't my thing.
Yeah.
I can totally respect the guy's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Right.
When
And
I started
it's-
playing, it was all Ozzy.
Yeah, and so Jack said to me, or no, Spencer said the other day, he's like, he just played a concert 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, well, let's put it in context.
Yeah.
He was actually in a chair, barely able to. It's like, you've seen Phil Collins lately? Like, you can't. Why are you going out in front of people anymore? Just go hide somewhere and be mysterious.
Well, at this time, he said he actually, like you can see him talking about this where he says, I knew I was dying. And he's like,
Phil or Ozzy?
Ozzy. Sorry. Yeah. But he's like, I knew I was dying, and I wanted to play some kind of show. They were doing a dedication to me, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So he went out to do it, knowing full well this was the end. It's actually pretty crazy.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the other side, what do we do with actors that are getting too old? I worked with people that can't even stand up.
Well, you put them in the BG.
You
But
help.
they tend to disappear on their own.
I suppose.
I find because there's a difference between music and it. Like, I worked with Charles Bronson when he just couldn't remember it. Like, his line would be yes, and he couldn't remember it.
Right.
Sort of like Marco acting. Anyway,
We have so many friends that we
that's
like to
that's
tease.
an in joke.
We like to tease.
Another story I could tell. But Charles Bronson, was legendary to me and was
Of course.
was a huge deal.
Of
And
course.
I took a couple of squib hits and fell down, and he came and picked me up after the cut. And
Yeah.
we were in front of a mansion like in Oakville, and the crew's way over there. And as he helped me up, he would have been 72 or 3, like not that old, but old.
Yeah.
I farted as he lifted me up, but I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
It just, farts that you surprise you, right?
Yeah.
And I went
All
and
the
he-
time.
and he just went. It was a super intimate, fabulous moment.
I was-
Charlie fucking Bronson.
I was with Charles Bronson, Charlie fucking Bronson, and I had to run up some stairs, and he has to hit me in the chest with a planter, like pick up this
Ouch!
fake plant and hit me with the chest.
No, thank you.
And what he was doing is he was pulling it. He was snapping it,
Trying to be old Hollywood.
but not touching. And I said, Mr. Bronson, if you don't mind, I have
gonna
to
make me
I
fart.
have to fly back off these stairs here, and I'd really appreciate it if you just fucking whack me, like hit me with this fucking thing, so I have something to play off of. And he looked at me and he shook his head and goes, fucking stuntman.
Yeah, you're just a joke.
That's what he said, and I'll never forget that. And Charlie Bronson hit me with this fucking planter. I went flying. It was shot was great, but I got to do this with Charlie Bronson.
Yeah, that's cool. I had that moment with Chuck Zito, unfortunately.
Oh, Trip.
Not Charlie Bronson.
Chuck. That's the fellow you met at.
Chuck
What's his
Z.
name?
Yeah, I remember Chuck.
Yeah, I hit him. I was on a bicycle and I hit him, and he's a Con Ed man in Central Park, and I got up and he was like, "What the fuck was that? Fucking hit me!" You scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I bet.
Love it.
Yeah, so I came down the next day, 40 miles
Smoked
an hour.
him.
Smoked them. That's what I'm talking about.
I met Chuck in L.A.
Stunt guys are stupid.
Well, he asked, yeah.
You met Chuck in L.A. off turf. He's a New Yorker.
Yeah, just off turf, yeah.
One of Donnie's guys.
Yes,
That,
that's true.
I was at Pete Antico's house.
Oh, I know Pete.
Yeah,
Pete's
and
great.
Chuck was
He
there.
always wanted to be the president of SAG for some reason. He was so.
Well, he's a very political
Well,
guy.
he's
so
very
into the
passionate
politics.
about 100%. I love Pete.
I met him on
And I don't
Die
know him
Hard.
well or anything, but he's a very out
He's
there,
a solid guy.
get to it kind of guy.
I met him on Die Hard, and Die Hard was weird because Die Hard 3 had this crazy dynamic of New York, LA. And there were like 85 New Yorkers that I was like honorary, but I came on the plane with the LA guys because it's the big movie that got me out of golf. That and Due South, which sounds kind of funny together. But he was this presence on set of peacemaking between, the Frank Ferrar attitude of like, we're fucking New Yorkers, and these 12 LA guys that came with Terry Leonard. And I was in the middle, but I appreciated him. He was weird but smart.
Smart guy.
And then years later, it was just like SAG. Pete was all over it.
Yeah, he's all
Like,
over that.
I only remember him from Central Park. Yeah. Yeah, stunt guys are weird. They really are. Especially when you clash two cities like that together. Those guys, us guys. And I'm like the fake Canadian honorary New Yorker.
Right.
Frank passed away, but he used to give me give this guy a chance sort of thing, which is why Chuck Zito didn't take my head off.
Okay.
Yeah. Cotton can tell you that the New Yorkers are different. How many times have you been an ND player in Toronto and your fellow ND guy goes like this just to show you that he's got one under his belt in case anything happens? Only in New York.
Fuck.
Not even in LA.
Hilarious.
Well, guns aren't allowed in L.A.
No, but it's not like New York's an open carry state either.
Right.
Anyway, it was a very memorable job. Die Hard 3. See it on Cinemax.
Well, on that note,
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Maddie, we're slowly getting to the end of our podcast here, our conversation.
It's only been 50 seconds. Just kidding.
Yeah, and that's all we need.
Maybe I could be like Steve Chase and there'll have to be a second episode.
I think that
Oh,
might
man,
happen.
That'd be sweet. We can
haven't
actually
told
talk
enough-
about something relevant.
I haven't told enough stories.
What do you want to tell anything?
No.
Well, come on.
I'm
If
just
you-
saying it's amazing how when you talk about this business,
It's actually
it's
amazing
like
how
it's like
fast.
you're telling jokes. Like Randy and I love telling jokes, and if you tell a penguin joke, that leads to, if there was a nun in that joke, that leads to a nun joke, and then the
100%.
nun was driving a Camaro. Oh, I got 6 Camaro jokes.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, you realize you talked about none. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But the same thing with you could do a podcast of like just stories
Of course.
Totally.
where you're not really learning anything. You know what I mean? If you want your audience to learn from the wisdom of something, then I think I need to be told that before I sit down.
No, I think that going again podcast
It's a good note.
We're here.
No, you guys are great.
Yeah, this
I love
is-
what you're
has
doing.
nothing-
Thank you.
Energy's fantastic.
Yeah,
Love it.
this
Thank
has
you.
nothing to do with learning anything. And if people learn from something, that's wonderful. But I wanted to get to know you.
And to
Right.
be honest, when we started this, we had our buddy Sean Lawrence come on. He's a SWAT
The
guy out
actor?
of Toronto.
No,
No,
different
not an
genre.
actor.
Well, he's an actor now.
He's an actor now. Yeah.
Because of your SWAT show.
So,
Correct.
Yeah. But he's I mean, his life is insane. The stories that he has, seriously,
And
are
they're
through
real.
the roof, right?
They're real.
Very, very
So
real.
real.
That's what attracts me so much.
Yeah, but when we had him on, we had him on the first podcast, and he was awesome to come out and do that. But we want to have him on again because it sort of seemed like a bit of a gimmick in a way, where we were just like, "Come on, tell your stories to get this thing going." But then it was just stories,
Right.
and then it wasn't
There's
it
no,
wasn't
like,
a
there's no
conversation.
subject
and
to
it
it.
wasn't like it wasn't human.
There's no
Yeah, it
back
was
and
like,
forth.
yeah. So that was a lesson, I think, on our part.
But it's fascinating though.
Fascinating as hell.
Fascinating enough that with CJ's husband, what's his name, that
Gord.
Gordy.
created the whole series, right?
Yeah.
You want
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
You want a full circle crazy story?
Yeah.
Stephanie Morgenstern,
Yep.
ring a bell?
Yes.
16 years old, walks up to me in Montreal after a performance of The Taming of the Shrew. I was Petruchio, and she says, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life, but you've just told me and given me the answer.
Are you
Thank you.
serious?
After the show. And she became Stephanie Morgenstern.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the lady that
And then
created Flash.
Flashpoint. And so I walked around for the entire life of Flashpoint going, why am I not doing that show?
Oh wow.
Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's like, isn't that
Can
the
I answer
strangest
that?
thing? And then Randy would have me out, and I would do, I don't know, every other season I'd come out and
Yeah.
do a little acting bit, whatever.
Yeah.
Never got to see or talk to her. But I was like, I'm Emily's brother who you saw in Taming of the Shrew when you were 16. And
Oh, my God.
she became this, fabulous writer.
Yeah. And she and her husband created this.
They created Flashpoint. But also
Unreal.
the connection to CJ and Gord and all that stuff was like,
Yeah.
there's a single moment in front of Union Station that created the show.
Correct.
Basically.
Yeah.
Correct.
And yeah, I know you do feel blessed and lucky because it was a super special show.
I think that
The way it was born.
my entire career, Matt, everything
It's your
everything
fave?
that you've had me do,
Yeah.
like I used to cover for you. Like there's a ton of stuff that we've done.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm most proud of
Yeah.
is pilot to end.
Flashpoint.
75 episodes of Flashpoint.
Yeah, you should be. You should.
And it should be noted that Blair was one of the lead doubles on the show.
That's correct. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Blair.
Oh, and speaking of that,
That Blair.
speaking of that, for
This guy.
my birthday video, when he goes, "Oh, Randy Butcher." Oh, I don't know who he is.
Oh yeah. Those.
I don't
great.
have a shirt. I want a shirt.
I have a shirt.
Oh
for you.
jeez, you gotta have a shirt.
Yeah. No, you've been around. We've been around each other's lives a long.
We have, Matt.
Like it's into the 80s.
Easily. Yes.
I think that part of you were some guy that the guys found too, right? Like,
That's right, that's right.
We were all found by these guys.
Well, I sought them out.
Yeah.
I went to Dwayne's office, and he told me to get the hell out of his office because I was a karate guy, and he was never going to hire another karate guy in his life. So then
That's right. You were telling me that the other day.
Yeah, then I sought someone else, and I found the team. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I part of that.
And to be honest with you, it's nice to know now how long you've been around, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And when
There was a
when we
comma
get
there.
when we get some time, there was a comma before Dad. When we get some time alone, I'll explain why.
Thank you. That'd be wonderful.
I just saw the show Stick is about golf on Apple TV.
Yeah.
And the lead kid's father shows up in the last episode or the second to last episode. He's been gone for the whole thing. We didn't even know the guy existed. And it's like, how can
gonna
you
watch
cram these father-son, I've been out of your life for 2 years conversations into 11 pages of script? It's like absolutely impossible. Don't even try. And they try, and then the whole show just goes, I'm so sorry I wasn't here, son. It's like, oh my God, I was liking this show. Who thought in the writer's room the dad should show up and ruin the tournament for the kid?
Oh,
And then the Owen Wilson character, blah, blah, blah. It's just, this is a delightful, exciting, fun show if you love golf.
yeah.
Until they open their mouths and you're like, who
Oh, man.
fucking
Oh, that's
wrote
so
this?
sad.
And
Did you-
Owen Wilson, poor guy, doesn't know any different. Like, he just does the best he can. And you know how he sometimes just plays himself?
Mm-hmm.
that's what he's doing here, and he's delightful. He's fabulous, but it's like the words are just.
It's because of him
Oh, that's
and another guy that I wrote Dicks with Chicks.
Oh, is it?
That he's one of my models.
Yeah, I like using him in my Starsky and Hutch story because I tell people about being against the wall as a kid, and like I was thrown into as an extra for a shot to make my dad happy because my dad was visiting the director, Charlie Pacerni, another stunt guy I got to see throw a 90 in that Torino into the alleyway. And the guy goes, "That's so cool. That's so cool. What's Owen Wilson like?" And I'm like, "Not that Starsky and Hutch."
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's disappointing. I wanted to watch that show.
Which
Is it worth it? Stick?
it is, yeah. No, it's fun.
Am I
Mark,
gonna
you
get
know
annoyed
Mark
by-
Maron, the comic
podcaster. Yeah, he's great.
Super smart guy. He
Yeah.
acts better than he did. There's a show that he acted in a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the title of it, but in Stick, he plays Owen Wilson's lifelong buddy, caddied for him when he was a big star on tour.
Oh, cool.
And he's not the most comfortable guy as an actor because he's a stand-up
Yeah.
and a commentator. He's sort of like a Carlin type guy.
He's a sarcastic kind of
Dick
guy.
Gregory type guy. He's like a social commentator guy.
Yeah.
And he's put into this very formulaic Hollywood comedy, whatever.
Sure.
The show tries too much to hit too many points. It hits LGBT. It hits
Right. No.
it hits immigration. It hits white upper class. Timothy Olyphant plays
I'm done.
yeah. No, but you should watch an episode or two. It's like what happens is every 15 minutes of like, this is great. I'm loving this. And then there's a scene and you're like,
Fuck.
They're trying to hit something.
yeah. And if you're a writer,
I'm gonna convince
you
you.
guys are writers.
Yeah.
And if you only have 22 or 44 minutes, this has to happen here, here, and here. Jack Kenny, the showrunner from Warehouse, is a comedy writer and a genius in television. When I give him a screenplay, he goes, "I don't know what this is. I don't even know how to read this
Right.
because it's formatted in 3 acts,
Right.
and it's
It's not the same.
whether it's 90 or 120 pages long, it's not the same." He's like, "Well, I don't understand why this." So my spin-off, my story point spin happens on page 22 or 25. His happens on page 3.
Right.
And he thinks in terms of 7 pages at a time. And I'm like, so that's what'll happen to you. Because
Okay.
you write and you understand television,
Yeah.
but you love golf. So Stick is a difficult show.
Interesting.
Because,
I want to see it. Like, it looks good, but
well, just watch an episode. Well, we're not asking for a lifelong indemnity.
man. There's so much.
If you don't
So
watch
much to
Stick,
do.
if you don't watch Stick, I won't give you a day on my next job. Well, you don't give me a day anyway.
Yeah. Like we talked about that already. Anyway, Maddie,
Okay. Wait. Wait.
I just wanted to cheer him.
Can Blair cheer too?
No.
Nah, screw him.
Fuck him.
Lift it up. You just
Cheers,
thank you.
guys. I feel we have so much in common, and we have more to talk about. We'll do a part 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hell yeah, we will.
I mean, I would have ridden today, but the sky was threatening.
Yeah, I thought you were a little chicken.
Now I have to come back because I got to ride. I am
Yes.
total. As much as I've been riding, not as long as you, but 35 years. I'm a chicken.
weather.
I'm a weather chicken.
Yeah, I get it. No, it's all good.
And 40% to me is like,
Yeah, but all you got to do is end up in the weather once to go. I don't
well,
really
which
feel like
I've done
doing that
lots.
again.
You know the percentage.
Which I've done lots of times, and then it never rains.
You know the percentage isn't the day; it's the area.
Yeah, and now I'm into map. I'm into watching the 24-hour map.
Yeah.
You drag.
Oh
the,
yeah, where
drag the
clouds
arrow,
come across.
and
the,
I'm like, oh look, there's nothing between here and Cambridge. Just get on your bike
Yeah.
yeah,
and do it.
but the clouds have like a mind of their own.
But that said, you, me.
We need to.
Blair.
The 4 of us.
We all have to
We need to
ride-
ride together.
Yeah, it's 100%. We have to go somewhere.
Yeah, it would be
I want to
sweet.
see these baggers at these guys.
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah.
100%.
I'm ready for
Should
my.
see the bagger. That
my next
that
bike
good.
is a custom. I'm looking just in case you guys come across something.
Oh, what are you looking for?
I want a Harley.
Yeah.
I've never had one.
Yep.
Okay.
And if it's custom, and it's something I can customize,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Okay.
But what do you look at? Do you want bags and?
Yeah. So I have
Like a
I have an
fairing and
Indian
all that?
I have an Indian Chief Vintage,
Yeah.
which is a cruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to take my windshield off all the time because I like riding it.
But you don't have a fairing, right?
No,
Okay.
just a giant
got like a bulb.
giant headlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
and 2 little ones next to it.
Yep.
And I call it a cruiser because I couldn't do 4 hours on it. I can go to Dover, but Dover was hard.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Or get a new seat, dumbass. You can change your seat. But I had a Roadmaster, which is as big as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000 pounds and full bagger. I was too intimidated, so I got rid of it. I want it back, but I don't want a Roadmaster. I think I want something that, like, the way your bike is yours.
Yep.
I want to do that.
Fuck yeah, man. His is sick.
I'm getting, like, we're in the last 11 minutes of my life here, so.
I'm with you, brother.
Speaking of the last 11
But
minutes.
every custom I look at is up here. I can't have it.
Oh, that's what
And I know I could buy
That's
it.
how Andrew
I
rides.
could just buy it and change it.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I can't do this is I can't make a U-turn.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have your bars where you can actually reach.
I need to be able to.
I do it pretty
Yeah,
good.
so
No, you lock it out, but
I'm still very nimble and flexible.
yeah.
My running and all that stuff, but I've got a shoulder injury right now. I can't lock out this way. I don't want to do that on a bike and not be able to lock out.
Yeah.
No,
I
get
couldn't.
it.
I couldn't U-turn a sport bike right now because the left side would hit the gas tank and I'd be like, I can't use this arm. I'd be the only way to do it would be with my feet, Fred Flintstone. I'm like, are you a motorcyclist for the last 30 years? Not really. Anyway,
Whatever. Next time.
we need to
Chicken
ride.
wings
We need
or
to
a
ride
burger
together.
somewhere.
Take Two's all about motorcycles. Matt.
Maddie, would you write something on our table?
I'm in
Sign
for
it.
the motorcycle.
Sign it, write it, whatever you want to do.
Not with this.
Please and thank you. Not this. This thing.
Does this say email
I think
Yeah.
or snail?
Somebody said email.
Is that
us.
Evan?
Who are the 4? You got Sean,
Evan.
Ivan the Terrible,
We've got Evan Marsh,
Evan.
Sean Watson right here,
Who's this?
Kate Ziegler.
Kate Ziegler. Okay.
Yeah, she was amazing.
We could do a third one that's just about ACTRA.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she's awesome.
And Ian is. Ian, this is a guy who's not necessarily in the film business, but he's a.
Oh, I
He's
wanted
a
to
farmer.
mention that when you do your film, consider this. Put that in your pocket. Frankie's Studios. It's a friend of ours who is changing his wife Lisa
Ian and Lisa.
their farm into a film studio outside of Brantford.
It's huge and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
But yeah,
Why not?
Ian Alexander. Yeah, he's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Well, you know what I'm doing this doesn't have to make it into the podcast, but
it will.
From a filmmaking standpoint, I've rewritten my film for Grand Bend, Ontario, because it's got water and a track and a great hotel. But I think I'm going to do more interiors than I ever intended back in town, which means I could do them anywhere. They could be here, anywhere.
Talk to Ian and Lisa. They're going to help you so well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the thing people look for in the collecting world
Draw a picture.
is the M. They love the way I do my M.
Okay, awesome.
Did you say draw a picture?
Anything,
It's like a W.
something we can all have. Nice.
Is that breasts?
I think it is. Looking at a mountain.
No, it's a face. It just says love M.
I got it. I just wanted the podcast to think it was breast.
I did not draw breath.
Sorry.
There is money to be made in voiceover, though.
Matt, thanks for coming.
It's been a pleasure, you guys.
Man, it's been awesome. Thank you so much for coming out here.
And I hope we talked about something and not nothing.
We didn't, but that's okay.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
No, it's been great. It's been awesome, man.
Okay, good. Well,
Awesome, for real.
I'm gonna trust Blair. Do you think I'm wrong because you know these guys better than I do? That I should trust Andrew and not Randy, correct?
Yeah, we didn't talk about it.
That's my instinct. Is the kid is telling the truth?
For sure.
Thank you,
Well,
guys.
cheers, guys. Love
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Okay, Blair.
Thank you.
Got it.